Right. So, does anyone remember what the very first objective was?
Kill Strahd.
Remove some gypsies from the city.
That's right. Um, so we began all the way back in the city of Daggerford, and the Duchess had asked you to remove some gypsies in D&D known as the Vistani from the premises. Vistani were having a party, really getting in the way, and they told you about their former or still current leader, who was a hero once, but has kind of fallen into a despair and has become a tyrant. And they think that adventurers such as yourselves, mighty heroes that definitely killed a bunch of werewolves to save the folk of Daggerford, um, would be able to help their master regain his senses, and that they told you about a woman named Madame Eva that would be able to tell you more and guide you on your way. Um, when you made your way into Barovia, you encountered some werewolves and a nilbog in the woods. Um,
Haven't been able to
and
get rid of him yet.
it's true.
We've tried, but
And he just got online, so I assume he'll be
oh, nice.
joining our chat soon. Um, and in the woods, it wasn't too long before a fiery steed came rushing up to you, and you saw uh, the count himself. Didn't know who he was at the time, but he just kind of looked at you, sneered, and then his mount flew away. You made your way into the village of Barovia, inside of which you encountered an old woman peddling her wares. Um, it wasn't long before you found out this woman wasn't what she seemed, and that her pastries were uh, intoxicating. Hi, Crash.
Hello.
We're doing a recap.
Oh.
Um, Also, in the village of Barovia, you went to a church where a Priest Donovich, um, was lamenting about the condition of his son, who had been transformed into vampire spawn by, quote, the devil's Strahd. Um, you decided to handle this problem by fireballing his son and relieving him of the problem. Uh,
I mean, was there really another option? If we're being honest, I don't think so. Don't answer that question.
so once you had taken care of this problem and taken the definitely totally 100% dwarven item from the basement,
Mm-hmm.
you decided to go to the local inn. There you had a brawl with a Vistani and drew Strahd's ire very quickly. Um, before that, you had met Ismark the Lesser. He is the son of the town burgomaster, or mayor, if you don't want the funny word. Um, and he mentioned that Strahd has been pursuing his sister, Irina, for quite some time, and he wants to move Irina either to the further city or the city west of here, known as Valaki, or even farther west on the very edge of Barovia, the town of Krezik. Um,
I
and then
forget.
you had your. Mhm.
Do we have any more details as to why Irina is being so aggressively
Yes,
pursued?
yes. For as Strahd began pursuing you out of the village, he began calling to her and spoke her a different name, the name Tatiana,
That's
that
right.
you did not know. This was later revealed to be the name of Strahd's original conquest, if you will. So you had to flight to the river and made your way around this segment here, point F to point H. Vistani wagon approached from G here and took you back to their camp to meet with Madame Eva, who gave you a card reading and told you your fortunes. She told you of 3 items that will be of help in your adventure. One being some sort of um, tome of knowledge that will help you. The second being a symbol of great hope and a force of good and protection beyond a set of amber doors. And the third, a sword of sunlight lying within a dragon's house in hands once clean and now corrupted. She also. Oh, go ahead.
Nothing. Continue.
All right. She also spoke of an ally that will help you in your fight against Strahd or just the powers of the land in general. She mentioned this person would be a great wizard, but with a broken mind, and you're not entirely sure who that could be referring to just yet. And then there's definitely potential there.
Powerful wizard, broken mind. It adds up.
And then lastly, she mentioned where you will find your enemy. Creature of darkness, powers beyond mortality. He dwells with the one whose blood sealed his doom, brother of light snuffed out too soon. After receiving your fortunes, you proceeded to the old bone grinder, an old windmill perched atop a hill, where the pastry lady had fled to after your little mishap in the streets. It's here that you found not 1 but 2 night hags occupying the windmill and making pastries. You promptly took them out and then ended up, I think you burned down the windmill at the end. But not before you found you rescued a couple of children, one of which was a silver dragon, a young silver dragon who had been cursed into be stuck as a young human child with no memory. And from there, you proceeded to Valaki, met a couple guards outside. You were able to kind of talk your way past. And you also encountered the captain of the guard, a man named Ezek, who had a monstrous hand. He made a handout for this time.
Wow.
You dud.
That's fair.
You're on a roll today, Mason.
I need to stop, is the problem.
She's been accompanying you. She didn't leave. So Ezek kind of made some vague threats about you better not cause trouble in the town or he'll throw you out.
What was the name of the guy that we got the information from about Valaki? Like how to get in, the phrase to say.
Yes.
What was his name?
That was a were-raven that you met. And I am going to look up his name. Well, shoot.
It's a weird name.
Not Milivoj. No, not Octavio. You can tell he's obviously a very, very important character.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's always nice to have allies within the city.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to get to the point where, like, we see him again and we're like, hey, you, how's stuff?
So, you remind me of the Were-Raven because he mentioned that there was a problem with the winery owned by his family. The winery has stopped making wine, and soon Barovia will be completely out of wine.
Can't have that.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that if you were to speak to his father at Valaki's inn, his father would be able to provide you the details of what to or how you could help with this problem, this impending doom of the whole land. And we had left off right as you walked into the inn to see none other than Rudolph van Richten, who Melissa and Mason's characters had some interactions with in the past.
A little bit.
He's known as a sort of a legendary vampire hunter, and they parted ways some time ago. He appears to have made his way into Barovia.
And into a bar.
And into a bar where he is strumming on a lute and doesn't really seem to acknowledge your presence beyond just kind of giving you a look as you walk in. And then he goes back to strumming his lute, which is pretty off-key. It's not a good sounding lute. You also notice that he has kind of affixed to his ears fake elf ears.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Which
Oh man.
normally would look kind of convincing. It's just, he's not an elf, so they look fake to you.
Are we certain that it's just like an off-tune lute, or is he just bad at playing the lute?
It could very well be a combination of both.
Okay, it's that bad.
So do the ears not look convincing just to Melissa and I, or does it look...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mainly because they draw so much attention, because he's not an elf.
Right. But the rest of the group wouldn't necessarily know that. Okay.
Right.
Hep thinks that he's an elf. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
This is the first elf you've seen in Barovia so far.
Air quotes elf.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm a half elf. Do they look convincing to me?
No, they do not.
Okay.
I would love to see you challenge him.
Would you like to do this?
It's so sad that our bard has a sore voice today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm concerned where I whip out is going to go.
The dude's name is Majestic, all right? He's asking for it.
So I think I missed why his name is that now instead of DJ Doom O'Clock.
It changes, I think, kind of like Snoop Dogg changes, occasionally to Snoop Lion to,
right,
all kinds of stuff. So the farm, or like Prince, the artist formerly known as DJ Doom O'Clock, aka Majestic. Who knows what's next? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, that guitar. That's right.
As you pull out the guitar, you definitely catch the eye of all of the peoples in the inn. They all kind of look up and see these strangers walk in, and you pull out a guitar, and you've definitely got everybody's attention.
Unimportant question at this moment, but it might be good to establish. Who has the giant hammer?
Me.
Do you?
I don't think that's the case.
I think during one of the sessions, you were like, you were gone or something. Have you missed any of the sessions?
I was gone last week, yeah.
And I think we made an executive decision, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I do have a map for this inn at the bottom here. It's an ungridded map, so I had to shrink you down to size. And this is more of just a reference for, what it looks like inside.
So where's the stage that he is occupying, or the?
He's like this back table here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's sitting around it, and he's kind of got a couple chairs propped up so that he's kind of he's sitting on the table, his feet on the chairs, strumming the lute.
I see.
He's definitely at least giving the impression that he's the bard of the tavern.
Mm-hmm. I'll just give a side glance to Melissa's character, whose name I know because we're such good friends. I just don't feel like I need to say it right now because
we're so close. It just doesn't need to be
exactly.
Said.
So,
that's one
so
more
I
thing
will give a
wanted to quickly do is can we do a quick recap of people's characters?
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
It's been like a month.
It has. It has.
Yeah, somebody else go.
Yeah, it's okay, Balgar.
Well, okay, I
Melissa,
put
why
it.
don't we
Look
start
at
with
this.
yours?
Look at where mine is. Right at the bottom of your screen. I don't know where the bottom of your screen is. It's right there. Melissa's just says Melissa J.
Yep, it does.
I guess
Melissa,
I could
why
look
don't
at
we start with a
the
quick recap
character
of-
thing. Azariah.
There we go.
What? I knew it all along. I said that. Everybody knew that.
Yeah, I'm playing Azariah. He's in Azamar and stuffs, and he likes killing vampires and undead things. And he likes traveling with Balgar. That's about all we got.
Cool. Mason?
Yes. I am Balgar. You have to say your name like that too. Balgar Drirosh. I am a gold ancestry dragonborn, like a gold dragonborn, gold ancestry. I don't remember what it's called, but very, very proud smiter of evil, I guess you could call it, and definitely, yeah, also hates the undead and is working to expunge the earth of such atrocities. So, yeah, have been traveling with Azariah for some time. What did we decide on? Like 2 years-ish?
Yep.
Yeah. And the backstory with the guy who also has a name. Yes, Vandra. Like, whatever. He tried to recruit us at one point while we were smiting evil on our own, and we said, nah, bruh, we not about that noise. We're independent contractors. So, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Mo. I think all of that does explain his character very well.
Oh boy. I'm gonna need to read that.
I think we do need a dramatic reading, though.
You do not want me to attempt to dramatically read that.
I have put my finger to my nose.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Okay, I think that leaves somebody whose voice is dead.
Sparty.
Sparty.
Sparty's played a bard before.
Yeah.
I'm just reading it.
Yes, dramatically, please.
No, I've been mentally reading it in the tune of Itsy Bitsy Spider. The intent, but it became magical.
You're looking
So,
for
Sparty,
a throat kick. Fastest way to end
Would
your
you like
day.
to describe your character?
I can't. Sorry, I was just really lost in all of this again to the tune of Itsy Bitsy Spider. Huh. Okay. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it's really funny if you read it in that tune in your head. So Folan is, I mean, to put it simply, Folan's a party boy. Has a lot of innate magic to him. Understand magic whatsoever. Stuff just kind of happens.
Okay.
He just kind of rolls with it. He likes alcohol, but that kind of goes with the whole party boy thing and just wild parties in general. He's always on board for that.
Mm-hmm. Apollo.
Well, as you all know, I am Glortok Threnerin, the noble leader of this party. I'm obviously a hero of the common people, and everyone looks up to me, as well they should. Not sure which one of you took my dwarven maul, but I suppose that's okay. It's good to have your loyal followers be well equipped.
We by the way,
And it was actually
definitively
established. Yes.
Yeah, we definitively identified it as being a giant, like, hammer of some sort.
No, giant isn't owned by giants.
By the race.
No.
Okay.
Maybe
More
half
delusional,
dwarf,
then.
half giant. That would be a match
That's a
made
person.
in somewhere.
Asgard.
I think, like Mo said, I think that's just a person. Dwarf meeting in the middle. I think that's just a person.
Really hairy person.
Yes.
Crash. Does Hep Hep need an introduction?
I can introduce Hep Hep if you wish me to.
Go for it.
I'm Hep Hep Peppers. I am not the noble leader of the party. I'm here to serve. So it's good to be here with all of my friends. Yes.
Felge.
I'm playing So-Called Shadow, who was an urchin while that was discovered by Glortok Threnerin way back, and Glortok was just discovering that he wanted to be a hero of the people, so he quote unquote rescued me and put me in a monastery that specialized in shadow walking, which of course trained me to be quite adept at infiltration, which is a valuable skill for a noble to have at his disposal. So once I finished my monastic duty, I joined. Well, I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I joined with him, and I'm kind of just riding it out until something better comes along. But he doesn't know that specifically.
I was about to say, how dare you?
Okay. And Gizmo.
No, you know what? I'm not done. I'm the best goddamn thing that's ever happened to you.
You're right. My humble and magnanimous master.
My name is Zel Zagash. I am a paladin, but not one of those pansy paladins you see prancing down the highways on occasion. That's all.
Okay. Great.
Oh, shoot. If I can add real quick, because I forgot my own character.
See, it's easy.
I'm out killing the undeads because there was a not like a prophecy, but kind of like an expectation from amongst my family that I would be like this great champion and bane of the undead, and so there's a bit of familial pressure to everything I do. That's
Okay.
Oh, that's the worst.
it.
Okay. So, Mr. Mo, do you indeed play this song for the tavern?
Get off the fridge, you dick.
Okay. Roll performance for me.
Get off. What are you doing?
And then Melissa's cat needs to make a stealth roll.
Hey.
Oh, you failed.
Ooh, 19. Okay. Yeah, the people of the inn definitely appreciate somebody that knows what they're doing with an instrument to come in and start performing for them. So they all very much appreciate your performance and toss a few coppers your way.
Hey, congratulations.
I kind of shake
that's
my
right.
head.
I forgot to mention. I also, after I finished my monastic duties, I met the artist formerly known as Doom O'Clock, and we got to talking, and I would walk around his sets and pickpocket people while he was entertaining them, and we would split the proceeds.
This might be relevant right now.
Yeah. It depends on how thick the crowd is, because like nobody knew he was going to be here, so the crowd probably isn't too big.
No, it's you've got some people filling up the tables here, here. Yeah, pretty much just the tables. Nobody's really at the bar though.
Yeah, it would need to be a little bit more crowded for that particular enterprise to happen.
The barkeeper, I should mention, he looks like the individual on the far left here. Very happy looking family.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that happy child.
The other left.
Yeah, no.
He is behind the bar. He definitely applauds your performance, Mr. Mo. And
is
yes.
Itsy Bitsy Spider like a banger in this town or something? Like, what's going on here? Why are so many people impressed by Itsy Bitsy Spider?
Did you see that performance check? This is like an itsy bitsy spider. Like they've never heard it before.
I guess.
It's true.
I guess.
On
a thunder guitar.
We'll say like one of the townsfolk sitting at a chair next to you, Mr. Mo, kind of like looks up at you and says, "Yeah, you're much better than that whatever that poor excuse of a bard over there." He points at Rudolph and Rickton on the other side of the room. Now, also by the bar, you notice the were-raven you saw before. Obviously in human form right now, but he is whispering to the barkeeper and or bartender, barkeeper, whatever. And they seem to be whispering back and forth, looking at you, and the bartender smiles and kind of motions for you to come forward to the bar.
All of us, or just DJ?
All of you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll stay towards the back of the group. I'm not really interested in whatever is happening here.
Mr. Moe, do you continue to perform for the people in this bar? Okay. You've definitely stolen Rudolph Van Richten's thunder, who just kind of sits there, and he gets off his table and makes his way upstairs.
Nice pun there, boss.
Yes, stole his thunder. I made this wonderful token to be Van Richten. Yeah, you're gonna have to turn that down.
Oh my god.
What the?
What the?
Well, that's a thing. So, the barkeep
Okay.
motions for you to come up to him, and he says, and he kind of smiles at you. Despite that picture, he's actually a pretty jolly-looking fellow, all things considered. And he says, "Please, friends, come sit down. I don't have a whole lot left here to offer you. We're almost out of wine, but I'd be happy to give you the last of what we've got."
I very obviously continue to stand.
He kind of looks around Glortak and Zell there, and is like, "Please, you, the Dragonborn in the back, come forth."
Why?
He pulls out a bottle of wine and says, "Please, try it. It's my family's specialty."
I'm quite all right sober, thank you.
He looks a
That's
little
a
bit
lie. You are
disappointed.
quite stuck up sober.
We got a tiny bit of echo from you, Melissa.
Ah.
Yes, he'll definitely pour out some wine for Folan and anybody else that came up to the bar.
Yep.
And it's pretty good. It's definitely better than anything else you've had to drink here in Barovia.
I drink that much in Barovia?
Say that again?
I drink that much in Barovia?
You haven't had much at all in Barovia yet, but it's definitely the best you've had so far.
Well, yeah, if I've had nothing, the bar's pretty damn low.
Well, Barovia is the whole area, right?
Yes.
Not just the town.
Right.
If I haven't had much, I'm pretty sure mouthwash would top that list if I hadn't actually had any alcohol. Still shouldn't drink it.
Small anecdote, just as an aside. I had a friend who was like an EMT, like fire rescue type guy, and he always used to comment on the drunks, you know, that he would meet out and about, and he said there was not any jollier of a bunch than the old guys who would sit around outside of a Walmart drinking mouthwash. And he just said, like, they were the nicest guys in the world, but they were getting so drunk off of mouthwash, and I thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
So apparently those people exist. That was the point of that story.
Well, this is not mouthwash. This is Red Dragon Crush. And he looks at you all that drank it, and he says, "Well, what do you think?"
Red Dragon Crush. It kind of sounds like it's fruit punch mixed with ethanol.
He kind of stares at you. He says, "Does that mean you like it?"
How does it taste?
I mean, for a wine, it's definitely good for free wine.
I hear that it's called Red
Like-
Dragon Crush, and I'll
Is
walk
it
up.
sweet? Is it like dry?
Book certainly doesn't. We'll say it's a very dry wine.
In that case, I enjoyed it.
He seems very happy that you enjoyed it, and he beams and says, "Yes, my family specialty. It's we've been brewing it for, well, centuries." And he says,
I want to plop a silver down, and I'm like, give me however much this gets.
he smiles sadly and says, normally I'd be able to give you multiple bottles, but because we can't make any more wine, well, that's the end of it.
Multiple bottles for 1 silver.
More along lines of he'd be able to provide multiple bottles depending on how much you were paying.
Oh, because if it was multiple bottles for 1 silver, then we might need to save this little slice of heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're definitely saving you.
I was gonna say Poland would be. I think Poland would be moving in.
The man extends a hand to you and says, "My name is Erwin Mardakov. I'm the owner of this establishment, and, well, heir of the Wizard of Wines winery." Does anyone shake his hand?
Sokol's a friendly guy. Is he wearing a watch?
No, just fancy gloves.
Okay.
He does have a ring on.
Wait, he's
how fancy?
wearing fancy gloves, but he has a ring on over the gloves or under the gloves?
That's what that picture looks like, anyway.
I didn't actually look too hard. Oh, hang on. Oh, you're right. It's
Just
over
have
the
drink
gloves.
wine.
I'm gonna say no, because he's probably never really been offered wine.
Oh
hardly ever
boy.
No.
Today's
really
gonna
been
be a fun day for Hep Hep.
Well, he's just really excited to have a seat at the table at the moment. So he's
Okay.
like not even daring to eat or drink anything
Hmm.
yet.
Okay.
But he's just beaming because he actually has a seat.
Does he have a cup? Does he have wine in front of him?
She.
She.
Does he
She
have
has
wine
right,
in front
she-
of her?
Not yet.
Okay, because if she gets wine in front of her, you know Folin would be encouraging her to drink.
Okay. Erwin will
that-
pour out the very last of the bottle and give it to Hep Hep.
Yeah.
How?
A seat at the table and then a gift. Oh,
Have a drink, Hep Hep. You'll love
happy
it.
day. Happy day for Hep Hep. And I'll drink it.
Make a Constitution save.
You are a small creature.
Very small.
Wait, does this like if alcohol is kind of a poison to everybody else's body, does it Oh, what?
What?
That was a natural one. Oh dear.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Oh no.
Why do you
Wait,
have a
we have
-5?
like hero points
Ah.
or anything? To reroll?
What happened to your Constitution score? That should be a 10. Okay, I fixed it. That's still a natural 1, though.
Yeah. I wish I rolled a -4, so that would be very funny.
Well, Hep Hep. This wine has inspired in you a new feeling, a great feeling. I am, of course, assuming that Hep Hep is a very happy drunk.
Okay. Safe to assume.
That'd be hilarious if he just turned into like the nastiest person on earth whenever he got
I'm a very
alcohol in
mean
him.
drunk.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just start a bar brawl.
Your alignment flips again.
Hmm?
Your alignment flips back to chaotic.
Oh god.
or lawful evil. Anyway, so yes, Hep, you are very, very, very drunk.
Like, am I gonna throw up?
No, not that bad. Yet.
Okay.
Erwin will look to those seated at the bar and says, "Well, my son tells me that you might be able to help us with our wine production problem. If you're interested, please come into the back room." And he kind of gestures towards what looks like the kitchen off to the side and says, "It's a bit of a delicate matter, family secrets and all. So I want to make sure not just anybody hears what's going on."
Of course.
I can help. Wine is nice.
So Erwin will lead you all into the kitchen area. Or is there anybody that does not follow him in?
I don't.
Okay.
Because I'm just, in general, not a fun person. I don't.
Well, whatever.
Am I able to walk enough that I could make it there? Or am I just gonna like fall down in the bar?
Make an acrobatics roll.
I would love to. -4.
You fall out of your seat and knock the chair over.
Okay.
All right. I'll pick him up.
Used by Hep as a drunken would also help lead him to the room.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning to go to this room anyway, but I'll pick Hep up and put him on my shoulders and just carry him over.
Okay.
Over. Thank you.
You can use either pronoun.
That's good, because we spent an entire campaign with Hep as a him, and it's just old habits die hard.
I mean, I'm still a male, but I'm cursed for now being a female, so either.
Wow, cursed. Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, in this room, Erwin offers you something to eat. He picks out just some, maybe like whatever stew they're making that evening, offers you some bowls of stew, a loaf of bread. As he hands these to you, he says, "So, the problem with our winery is that, well, it's a very magical place. In Barovia, the land is very tough. The harsh winters here, well, they just destroy pretty much everything in the ground. And so we use these magic gemstones to make our grapes grow strong and at very fast rates, that we can produce as much wine as we can possibly want. But our gemstones have been stolen."
Someone stole the family jewels?
Indeed.
Oh no.
It wasn't too long ago that, it was very frightening. Some horrible-looking witch came into our home and stole one of the gemstones. And then not too much long after that, the druids of Yester Hill came and stole the other two. And now all three gemstones are gone, and we can no longer produce wine.
Is Yester Hill in relation to yesteryear?
He says, "Oh, no. Yester Hill is a location. Perhaps you have a map."
I don't generally carry a map, but I'm sure one of these slightly more sober people have a map on them.
We do.
Probably
Yes.
we could just
Yes,
say
we
one of
could
us
have
has
it.
one.
Yeah, we do. I don't remember who specifically was in possession of it,
I
but
believe it was Ismark, actually.
I think you're probably right.
He and Irina are sitting in the tavern, kind of by the entrance.
Were they invited into the back and just
No.
declined, or okay?
It was just you specifically, or like your group.
Why?
I'm gonna look out the door and be like, "Yo, we need the map."
Ismark will give you the map, and Erwin will point at the western point over here, point Y for Yester
Oh,
Hill.
it's so far away.
He says, "So we live here." He points to W. That's the winery. And the
So far away from
druids.
your job, gosh.
He says, "Well, you see, the rest of my family takes care of the winery most days. We have some of my nephews will move the barrels to Valaki and Barovia village while I maintain the inn here.
No, see, I guess that makes more sense.
No, my father takes care of the winery most days.
Wait, where is the winery itself?
Right
Over
here,
here.
point W.
Okay. I needed to know where the most important location was. Thank you.
And
The most important. Gotta go straight to the source.
and he again points to Yesterhill here and says, that place used to be, it was magnificent once upon a time, from what I hear anyway. And you can still occasionally some sort of mirage of what Barovia used to be like before the devil came. And he describes how when you stand upon Yesterhill and look to the west, you can see like an illusion of the setting sun, and it's the most beautiful thing anyone can look at in Barovia in its current state, because the sun does not normally shine at all here. And then he goes on to say that, but then the druids came and took over Yesterhill, and they're preparing for some very foul ritual. I don't know what it is they're planning, but I think they intend to use the gemstones as kind of a magic fuel source for it.
I'm gonna whisper to someone next to me, didn't we find a gemstone in the witch's windmill?
Did we?
Don't recall that.
I feel like we searched it and we found something.
Found lots of frogs.
Okay. Maybe I'm
You
making that
found
up.
frogs, a few potions, the dragon girl, and you had found a broom.
Yeah.
Is
that's
that
right.
is that what you're remembering?
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering.
Okay. Okay.
I believe I found oven mitts.
Ah, yes, that's
Okay.
also correct. You do
That's
still
good.
have them. They're still covered in blood and horrible things.
What? I guess I'll ask. What's his name?
Erwin.
Erwin. Okay, I'll ask Erwin.
With
What
the
is
you?
What is the relationship of the druids to the demon Strahd?
He says the druids, well, they used to be just kind of the wild men of the woods for a long time, but now they worship Strahd as a god, practically. I don't think Strahd really cares about them. If anything, he might find them amusing.
Even if their worship is not noticed by Strahd, they must still be destroyed.
They're absolutely fanatical in their service to him.
Well, Erwin, my good man, you just sit back and relax, and we'll get our hands on your family jewels.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
At least get me drunk first. Oh, wait.
Someone put that on the quote sheet.
And Erwin will say that if you were to recover these gemstones and bring them back to my family, why, I mean, you will be always welcome at the winery, this inn, free room and board.
I give him a hearty clap on the shoulder and turn to part.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are we kind of breaking up this meeting here then, and heading back out to the main room?
Think so.
I am.
Okay.
Unless, do you have any other questions for him?
Well, I don't have any questions for him, but since a lot of the group is in a secondary room, I'm going to kind of address the group as they're shuffling towards the door and say, so did anybody else notice that fake elf out there?
Erwin will immediately perk up and say, "Fake elf? You mean Rictavio?"
I chuckle. Why must he wear such a facade?
Is that why he looks kind of off?
Yes. That is an understatement.
Erwin looks kind of worried and says, I knew there was something off about him. I mean, he's just been kind of, well, he came in saying he was a bard and asked if he could come here to play, and he just kind of sits there and stares, and he's a pretty bad bard.
I can imagine.
And he just stares, and when the time comes for me to give him like his payment for the evening, he doesn't ask for gold or silver or anything. He just wants leftover meat from whatever was cooking for dinner.
I shall confront him for you. Do not worry.
Erwin looks a little bit more worried. He's like, "What? Do you think that's wise?"
I know who this man is. He is no bard. He is no elf. And he will be no problem.
Erwin says, will it make a mess?
Not like that.
We charge extra for no messes.
I feel like right when they ask if it makes a mess, I should throw up on Bulgar's
Erwin will call in one of his sons to clean up the mess.
I like pick Hep up. If he was on her, if she was on my shoulders with one of my hands, I'll just kind of like pick her up by the scruff of her shirt, like the back collar, and just set her down on the floor as I clean myself off.
Okay. As you filter back out into the main room, Ezek, the man with the monster hand, walks in. And he looks right at you, Mr. Mose. He passes by and says, "What is horrible music?" And he just kind of stares at you. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's over.
dun, dun,
Some
dun,
additional John Cena.
dun, dun, dun.
Well,
Your time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now.
he just kind of takes a step back and says, and points at you with the monster hand and says, "Stop that. Is trouble." Good. And he looks at the rest of you and does not have a pleasant look on his face, as he just scowls as he looks over the inn and looks at your group kind of coming out of the back room, and he narrows his eyes and says, "Were you causing trouble?"
I think you're the only one causing trouble here, bub.
Whew. Got the bub.
He glares at you and is about to retort with something when Erwin rushes out and says, No, Ezek, they're fine. They're fine. I just needed to speak with them a little bit, is all." Ezek looks over all of you again and says, "I'm not so sure. I think they're trouble."
I'll give him a glare. I don't know if I should intimidate or not, but I kind of want
If you'd
to.
like.
Here, let me bring it up. How do I not? No, never mind. It's charisma based. Just kidding.
He looks at you, Hep Hep, and says, "Ah, drunkenness. I knew there was trouble." He looks at the rest of you and says, "I assume that your friend will not be trouble if you keep an eye on him."
We did not know she was such a lightweight.
Oh, her. Sorry. Ezek stands there a couple of moments longer, looks around, seems satisfied with whatever he came in here to do, then turns and leaves. And Erwin kind of lets out a sigh of relief and says, that's the burgomaster's right-hand man, Ezek, the guard. Goes around looking for any sign of trouble or anyone not being happy, and, well...
Seriously, right-hand man.
He goes on to say that the burgomaster has been obsessed with the notion of happiness, and that he thinks that if the entire town is happy enough, that will somehow lift the curse on the entirety of Barovia and will transport it back to the normal world and not in this kind of...
Holy cow, this guy is psychotic.
Wait, the burgomaster is...
Yes.
Okay.
The burgomaster thinks that if he makes everyone happy enough, it will cure everything. And then he goes on to say the burgomaster is obsessed with the slogan, "All will be well."
Oh, right.
And that he insists on having weekly festivals to lift everyone's spirits, with mandatory attendance. And
mandatory fun. That's the answer.
Exactly. And he goes behind the counter and pulls out a flyer. Actually, a pile of flyers. He says, "Well, he asked me to distribute these to everyone, but I mean, they're all over the town anyway, so I didn't see like why on earth I would want to do that anyway. Here's last week's," and he hands you a slip of paper which says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendance and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well."
Pikes will be provided.
I fail to fully understand that message.
Why are children required?
And pikes provided.
He hands you another one and says, "This one's in 3 days." It says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the festival of the blazing sun. Attendance and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well."
I feel like a festival of the blazing sun's a bit of a downer if there's no sun.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing this is one of those, well, this will bring the sun back if everyone's happy.
Erwin says that the Festival of the Blazing Sun is they're going to make a giant effigy of Strahd in the center of town out of wicker, and then they're going to light it ablaze, and
This is going to end well.
it's going to be fantastic, and all will be well.
All will be well for sure.
Everyone's gonna die.
Yep. Well, at least it'll be funny. Can go
What?
watch that nonsense.
Anyway, so he says, well, I don't want to stand in your way if you're going to go see what's up with that Rictavio fellow. I'll be down here. Try not to make it too noisy or bloody, please.
It will not be bloody if all goes according to plan.
Which it won't.
So grab a mop.
Wait, what'd you say?
So grab a mop.
Oh. No. I'll also kind of look at Azariah like okay, I guess we need to go do this type thing.
I'll smile back with a, yeah, after you.
You better like as we're exiting the room and it's just our group together at this point. I'll, say, you better leave this to Azariah and me.
I look at you with clear distrust and say, why?
We have history.
Why can't I punch him?
Wait, what?
We'd prefer there to be a lack of punching, which is why you are not coming.
I want to punch him.
For...
Because those ears look dumb.
I will pass along your thoughts on his ears.
Okay, thank you. That's good.
You have history, you say?
Yes.
As you're discussing this, Rictavio comes walking back down the stairs.
Oh, come on.
A suitcase in his hand. And he comes to the bottom of the stairs here. Looks at you and just kind of offers please excuse me. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
I head him off for the door.
Uh-huh.
And as he approaches the door, here's what I'll do. I'll kind of like put my hand on his back, open the door, all kind of like in one motion, open the door, kind of like push him through, also go through the door, and then close the door behind me. And then just like stop him over here by the well if I can. Kind of like not grapple him, but forcefully move him over there.
I'm quite capable of walking on my own at my age. I may look old, but I'm still fully capable of walking. Thank you. Thank you. No, please stop.
I'm not trying to help you walk. Rudolf von Richten.
He immediately just kind of hisses a shh at you.
You can shush me all you want, but have you seen yourself? This is a disgrace, and you are not fooling anyone. If you have any care for the art of hunting, you would not be so foolish.
Hunting? What are you talking about?
That's why you're here, isn't it?
I'm not hunting. Well, I guess in a way I am. Investigating is the better word.
You know what I mean.
So you're both out here, you said?
Yeah. Sorry,
okay.
I should move myself.
Yeah, and after Balgar slammed the door in my face.
Well, if you were right next to me, I would let you out too.
And he'll retort with you, Balgar, and say, "So, what on earth are you doing here? This place is too dangerous."
To be perfectly honest, we didn't intend to be here at all. But, as fate would have it, we have found ourselves in this situation and are going to make the best of it. An opportunity has presented itself, one might say.
I'll kind of like lean my head over his shoulder and be like, if you must know, we're hunting Strahd.
Strahd. Indeed.
Have you?
He'll kind of take off his glasses and start cleaning them a bit. And he'll put them back on and say, "And how do you propose to hunt Strahd?"
Yeah, we're working on that.
In fact, he has presented himself to us. He is a cocky son of a bitch.
Is he?
He's even invited us to his home.
Has he?
Yes.
Can I do an insight check?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
What are you trying to incite?
Kind of just his general demeanor in this whole conversation is he seems to be getting more interested, maybe like figuring out like why what we've said has piqued his interest a little bit.
Sure.
Like, sure. Okay. All right, let me just get him a character sheet.
The mention of Strahd definitely caught his attention. And he will look between the two of you and say, "Well, we shouldn't be meeting here in plain sight. We should be meeting somewhere. How about back there in the stables?"
I believe that our business here is done until a later date. I just wanted you to know that you were not fooling anyone, and such behavior must be halted. If you are investigating, as you say, please do so much more subtly from now on.
I've been here much longer than you have. What do you know?
I know that you didn't look like an elf, and you play the lute or what guitar like poop. I couldn't think of a better word. I went with poop. I'm really sorry, guys.
What are you investigating, by the way?
I am investigating the whereabouts of the Order of the Feather. They are a group of were-ravens, and I believe they are located here in Valaki, and I intend to find them. I think they'll be quite useful allies in the fight against Strahd.
Yes, we've already made contact.
He looks at you very skeptically. Have you?
For being in this town for as long as you say, you really haven't gotten much done, have you?
I've been occupied.
Oh, that's what you call that noise?
He gives you a withering look and says, "Look, sometimes we have to do things that we are not skilled at. And this happens to be one of them. I've only been here a couple of weeks, and I have had business elsewhere." I don't see you unraveling the mysteries of Magician's Tower now, have you? I don't think so.
The Magician's Tower. That's correct. We have done much since we've gotten here, but I don't believe we have much intel on the Magician's Tower. Of what import is it to your mission?
Well, right now it's my home. There was a wizard here under Strahd's service many years ago, died and left many of his magic trinkets behind. I intend to use them and find a way to infiltrate Castle Ravenloft.
I see. This wizard, you say? One with a cracked mind?
Rictavio shakes his head and says, No. I'm guessing you're referring to the Mad Mage. This wizard that made the tower has been dead for centuries. The Mad Mage only showed up, well, before I did, but he's well known throughout the land as being the Mad Mage of Mount Baratok.
Would I know based on our map where that is?
Yes, I'll pull you back to the map real quick. Mount Baratok being the northernmost mountain on the other side of Lake Zarovich.
Ah, I see, I see. Interesting. I ponder this. That is all.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm waiting for them to be done.
Okay.
Yeah, looking awkwardly around the room.
Is
The other citizens.
I'm surprised nobody's like trying to listen in on our conversation. But hey,
fair,
you do
I
you.
don't care enough about you to do that.
No, that's understandable.
Okay.
I mean, I might later, but I don't believe we had a bond.
Oh
So,
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
What are you not investigating, Mr. Mo? Okay. I wouldn't make you roll an investigation for that. You could probably just ask the bartender. And if you ask that question to the bartender, he would say that if you were to talk to the burgomaster himself, that would be the person to go to. He's like, you're welcome. He does not know if that's a compliment or an insult. Okay.
Well, it's probably an insult if we're very honest here, based off of what Oreo told me.
It's also, to remind you, it's probably 8, 9 p.m. at this point. We had left right as we had left off last time as you entered the town right about dusk. So, yeah, it's been probably an hour or two since then.
You rent rooms in this place, barkeep?
He says that he will give you free rooms for the evening since you are going to go help his family.
That's very kind of you.
All right.
Meta question: did you see this quest and think like, "Oh yeah, they're totally taking this quest"? Like,
I mean, who wouldn't
like,
do this quest?
It's like save the
Balgar
alcohol
wouldn't do this
world.
quest.
I mean, like, obviously.
So while you guys are getting your rooms for the evening, we'll go back to the people outside.
I mean, I think we're pretty much finished up. We've made contact and kind of exchanged a fair bit of information about what experiences each of us have had in the city so far.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really all that I wanted to accomplish, and also to tell him that his costume was atrocious and if he's going to be doing any investigation, he should be more sly about it. But
He gives you an elderly harumph.
Yeah. Okay. How old is he, like, if I had to guess?
60s, probably.
Okay.
He seems to be in remarkably good shape for his age, though.
Of
I
course.
really wanted to punch him.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for him? Because he says, well, if you're done with this interrogation, I will be on my way. I'll leave you to do whatever it is you're doing. I'm sure we'll be in touch again.
If we were to want to find you again, how would we do so? You said your residence is at the tower, but...
Yes. Yes. Go west of here and you will find a tower. I have been residing there for some time and I'm planning to head back in a couple of days.
Very well.
I'll just put it on your map. It is point V here on the map.
Aha.
He describes it as a tower built on Lake Baratok.
Okay. Good to know. All right.
Okay.
With that, I'll go back inside.
And he will wander into town.
I guess I see that everybody is heading upstairs. Or what do I see once I come back in?
Is everyone heading upstairs to find their rooms and such?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Rooms. Second floor. Thank you. All right. Erwin, kind of looks to you, Balgar, as you walk back in and says, is it taken care of? Is he gone?
In a way, he has agreed that the ruse that he was playing out in your bar is come to an end. I believe he will no longer be pestering you with that awful noise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Erwin kind of wipes his brow and says, oh, well, thank you.
Am I to understand that there are rooms available?
Yes, please, help yourself. No charge this evening.
Thank you very much. And I'll head upstairs.
Okay. So, the question is, who's getting the room with the lone bed, and who's going to have to share the one with 4?
We all know that I'm getting the room with the lone bed.
My goodness. You only need half a bed.
I'm still medium.
I only need well, I get.
Then you
I
two are
need half a-
perfect together. Again. Just share one.
He would never deign to share a bed with the one such as me.
I know. I'll take the worst bed, whichever one.
I think not.
Oh my god.
I
Oh my
don't
god.
care.
Wow, that's a pretty good save there.
You bet your ass it is.
Hmm. Well, I guess we can share the bed then.
Gizmo, as you enter the hayloft, you notice there's a number of ravens in that room. They just kind of croak at you as you enter and then go back to sleep.
How about you make a
Wow,
wisdom
he's
save,
bad at his
sir?
job, that investigator.
Oh my gosh. He is.
What about the three still on the ground? For which rooms will you be taking?
I liked the idea that after I threw up and apologized to that guy, I just kind of fell down and I'm sleeping just on the floor
Okay.
of the bottom of the bottom floor. So I'm just like still here.
Okay. And Felge, what about you?
I'll be very honest. I missed the question, but I'm just going to sleep in any
Just
available bed.
Do you want to share a room or have your own room?
I would probably prefer to have my own room, but I don't care too much. Most of these people would have a hard time killing me instantly.
I'll just move you to this one then. Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, sorry. I had my thing zoomed in and I was looking at just the top layer, and so I was like, oh, I guess I don't exist.
All right. You
Still
all
waiting on that wisdom save from Zell.
Oh, I didn't see that. You want a wisdom save, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, how do you do that? Click on here, I think. Yeah, it's good enough.
What were you trying to command him to do?
Well, he tried to command me so that he would take the room.
Oh,
And
I see.
I'm doing the same thing to him. But, kind of at an impasse here.
Well, you might have noticed I wandered off to other areas.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Okay. Everybody that's not Gizmo, make a perception roll.
Ooh. I would love to. Oh, come on.
Oh.
Okay. Surprisingly high for a drunk person, but good on you.
Okay. The reason for that will become apparent momentarily. Gizmo.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, you have kind of a fitful rest, full of horrible nightmares, and you kind of come into this strange half dream, half awake state of mind as you lay there and find yourself completely unable to move.
Oh.
And you notice that there's a figure standing over you.
Like a spectral figure or an actual figure?
A very
Or an
pale-faced,
action figure.
gaunt, fanged creature. Looming over you. And this figure leans down and sinks its fangs into your neck.
Ooh.
Oh, fun.
Once it does so, it kind of sucks your blood for a couple of seconds, and then pats you on the head and says, "Sleep well."
Yeah, I can't move at all, huh?
You cannot move at all.
Not even with a save.
No.
Okay.
Did
Wow.
Did Folan hear any of this going down?
The rest of you heard Folan kind of shout out very loudly in the middle of the night. Folan, you before you shouted, you heard a creaking and cackling sound just a few feet away from your bed. And in your half-awake state, you see... where is it? You see this at the foot of your bed.
Yeah, I'd probably shout things such as the fuck and maybe bitch.
So, everyone who rolled 15 or higher definitely hears this. Hep Hep, probably a little bit hungover.
I cast a spell at her.
You absolutely can. She is going to curse as she sees you awake. She thought she was being very stealthy and sneaky about this, but...
Hey, we both cursed. Yeah, I'm gonna hit her with probably a lightning bolt.
Okay.
I don't know if those go through walls or not.
Let's see.
Seems dangerous in this tiny
Would I be
building.
able to pick up on that?
Yeah, I think that if he's going to start casting something like lightning, that would definitely get everybody's attention.
Oh, actually, I guess my passive perception... How does this work? Okay, so my passive perception is 15.
Mm-hmm.
But I rolled an 8. Because
Well,
you asked for a roll.
Yeah, the way I was handling that was because you're asleep. I was going to have be an actual roll.
Okay, that's fair.
Instead of like perception at disadvantage or something.
Sure.
Does lightning go through walls, boss?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
It says the lightning ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
So like walls.
Walls are
Yeah,
flammable,
it
right?
would definitely set the walls on fire if they are flammable. And they
Okay.
are definitely flammable in this place.
Interesting.
I think I would, even a little bit drunk, Fallen would know lightning make fire. And he does not want to catch on fire, so instead he will control the fire.
He wants to stay alive to drink another day.
Yeah, because he's going to use Tides of Chaos to get advantage on his attack roll.
Okay.
He's going to use Scorching Ray on
Okay.
burn this bitch.
Alrighty. Ranged attack roll. Or 3 of those.
5. I don't think I get technically advantage on all 3.
No. Oops.
And so I wanted to make sure 1 hit. But
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
also Surge.
Okay. 3 hits.
Can I Surge?
Yes.
Yeah! In the sleep-deprived state. The best kind. Not really. Okay. And that makes... Okay, so I'll roll damage first.
Okay.
66 damage. You raise 2d6 each.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
17 damage. Ew, 2 1s. That's gross. Okay, so the surge is... Flies and flower petals flutter in the air within 10 feet of you for the next minute.
Okay.
I wake up in a wonderful flourish of butterflies and flowers.
All right. The hag kind of stumbles back, still cursing, and kind of points a finger at you and says, "We'll meet again," and disappears into the ethereal plane.
I would shout something at her, probably along the lines of, "Come at me, my fingers shoot fire, bitch!"
At this time, I assume those who have all woken up are running towards his room.
Yeah.
I roll over in bed.
I think I might just go back to sleep too.
I didn't make a perception check earlier, but can I make one to see if I wake up?
Sure.
Nope. Sleeping soundly.
Can I move?
You can now move, yes.
Mm. And any indication that it might have been a dream? Or...
Your neck feels sore.
My neck feels sore. Oh, okay. I will stay where I am.
Okay. Yes, Majestic and Azariah walk in to see butterflies and flowers everywhere.
A hag tried to hag me in my sleep. I don't know what hags do to a person in my sleep, in their sleep, so I just kind of used it as a verb there. But I burnt her.
You didn't kill her?
Sorry, I can't kill things as soon as I wake up.
But you can create butterflies and flowers.
I didn't know where the hell these things came from, but
Well, the hag didn't make them.
I don't understand what happens in my life. It just happens, okay? But a hag showed up. I tried to burn her. She left. Thing about me ruining the day. I don't know. I really wasn't listening to her. I try not to listen to just old annoying people like her. Just old people in general for the most part. And she seemed kind of old. Hag just implies old.
Aside from some scorch marks and the flowers and butterflies, there is no trace of a hag, Mr. Mo.
Obviously see from the scorch marks there that I burnt something that's not there anymore, because you can't make those kinds of scorch marks on purpose. Blocking some of the things that are getting scorched. You to walk away ignoring me.
Yep, I'm gonna rub my eyes and go back to bed.
Okay.
Hate all of you.
The rest of the night goes without incident, and morning rolls around. Hep Hep, you're kind of the first one Erwin sees in the morning, and he just kind of, you hear him kind of mutter something to himself about drunken slobs before he gets to work in the kitchen. Your head also hurts, like you've never had it hurt before.
Ouch.
Oh, you're so pathetic. Cute in the most pathetically cute way possible, of course.
I assume it won't help my head, but can I crawl underneath the table and just kind of rock back and forth?
Sure.
I will be under the table.
The motion hurts your head a little bit more.
Oh, then I'm going to stop. Just fetal position under the table. I'm drunken, or hung over under the table.
All right. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
If I smell any breakfast being cooked, especially meats, I'm gonna head that direction.
Yes, you smell bacon.
Okay.
Well said.
Gonna head towards the bacon.
And Erwin will prepare a nice breakfast for all of you, because you have quite the journey ahead.
Are there still ravens up here?
Yes, there are.
I'd like to try to speak to one.
Okay.
Do any of them respond to common? If I address them, why hello there, ravens?
They definitely seem to, or they definitely respond and like turn their heads to look at you.
I was wondering if any of you might have seen what happened last night.
They kind of look amongst each other, And I don't know how a raven could give a shrug, but that's the impression you get.
Well, do you call this place home?
They bob their heads in a yes.
If you don't mind, I might come back later to have a chat. I think we might have some things to discuss. But
They
until
bob
then,
their heads again.
I am quite hungry.
Okay.
The question is, what are you hungry for?
Motherfucker.
Don't you want to know?
Talk to him.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. You all have a very nice breakfast. And Ismark and Irina
Finally yawn awake and start wandering down while you do this description.
Ismark and Irina will greet you at the table. And Ismark says, well, thank you again for at least getting us this far to Valaki. I'm somewhat tempted to keep on going to Kresik in the west, but I completely understand if you have other things to attend to in the meantime. My sister and I can stay at the church here until, well, you return or until we figure out a way to get her to Kresik safely.
Oh, YouTube link.
Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Okay, so Ismark asks if you want to help him move Irina to Kresik, or if you would rather go about your own business and they'll stay put. He says that regardless of what you pick, he will give you his map.
Honestly, maybe they should stay put. I don't necessarily want to get into an encounter and have to protect them.
I wouldn't mind having them around a bit longer.
I will not oppose that sentiment if others agree.
It's not one of your save the wine destinations, but it's sort of on the way. I'll pull you to the map.
What you're saying?
Oh wait, we were supposed to take them somewhere still, weren't we?
Either to here in Valaki or to Kresik. Ismark seems to think Kresik will be safer, but he would be content to stay here for a while in Valaki.
Okay,
Kresik being over here.
I thought we were trying to get to Valaki to drop them off. I thought that was why we stopped here in the first place.
Yeah, it was an option. So you can either pick this or keep going with them longer.
Okay. It sucks that, like, the halfway... What is R?
You do not know.
Okay. I was hoping it might be a town or something. Cool. I think if we're going to go do the wine thing, we need to leave them here unless we're taking them to Kresik first and then going all the way down there again, ignoring all the quests we're going to find in Kresik. That's too metagaming, sorry. Ignoring all of the people that are needy that I'm sure will request things of us when we get there.
What do other people think?
I'm just eating my bacon. I don't really much care if they're with us or not.
Yeah, no opinion.
Although, now that I'm thinking about it, they do know a huge amount more than we do about this area. So,
It's true. And, I mean, part of our mission is to help keep Irina safe, I guess.
But I seem to recall about half of you fawning over Irina the first time you saw her.
Definitely not me, but Strahd is an enemy to me, and if he feels like Irina would be an asset or a weapon, I would probably try to keep her from him or him from her. So,
but is she safer in a town or with us? Because we draw a lot of attention.
We do, but we also know how to defend ourselves. Like, it's kind of a catch-22, but I think, well, not against Strahd necessarily, but as a town, like, everybody's so scared of him. Like, he just kind of comes in and does whatever he wants and then leaves, and everybody's like, well, that's Strahd.
But is it possible that they wouldn't know who she is here?
I mean, the town may not, but Strahd, I would imagine, has extra feelers everywhere, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, keeping her on the move would be a sound strategy, I suppose.
Like, and if we need to, we can get her across water. We can do all these things, to try to keep Strahd away. Like, if she's just stuck in a city, I don't know.
I think. Well, let's ask them. Would they be willing to go to the winery and the hill with us?
Or just, where would they feel safest?
That too.
Yeah, we can ask.
Say it again, Mason.
I was saying we'll ask that. Both, where would they feel safest, and what are their goals, and how would we play into that?
Ismark will say, well, I know the church here is sort of a sacred place, and I don't think any vampire could dare enter it. I think Irina would be safe there, but there's also the Abbey of St. Markovia in Kresik. The abbot there has been alive a very long time, and I think he would be very willing to look after Irina as well.
I see.
So I would say that Valaki is safe, but Kresik is safer.
Well, you are welcome to come with us if that is your choice.
Unless you're got other business to attend to. But if Kresik is on your way, then we would happily come with you.
Kresik is roundabout on our way. We want to help these innkeepers first.
Ismark looks to Irina and says, well, if they're going to the winery, perhaps we could make the last leg of the journey on our own.
If you're sure that is wise, you're welcome to. But it may be best to stay with us until we make it back to prison.
Ismark nods and says, yes, you're probably right. It'd be better to stay with you. I think that'd be the safest thing. Strength in numbers, right?
And we can provide a distraction. Or rather, our hero of the people can provide a distraction. While he heroically defends your escape.
He nods and says, yes, well, very well then. We'll come with you.
I'm also, side note, really impressed that Apollo didn't notice I just threw him under the bus there. That's our relationship. Okay?
In a nutshell.
Okay. So, is there anything else in Valaki you would like to look around at? Let me put you on the Valaki map again.
When is the festival in relation to?
In 2 more days.
2 more days? I don't think we're gonna stay around for that. Are we?
Yeah, sorry, Doom o'clock. We're leaving today.
And
I
then
mean-
we'll be back in 2 days.
Wait a minute. I just remembered what they're going to do at this
Oh right,
festival.
yeah, they're gonna doom themselves by burning an effigy of Strahd.
Right.
But hey, can't be bothered. Gotta go save some wine.
I think possibly that's our best choice.
We should have gotten the wine thing in writing, so that like once the city's destroyed, we can go back to the winer and be like, I don't know, but it says free wine for life here, so.
Exactly. So, how much do we want to protect our free wine for life status?
It's not often you ask these questions.
I mean, if it's me as Sokol, I could see that being useful.
What is the like the time it would take to get to the winery and back?
Let's see. Probably a day's journey each way.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you're not gonna actually get anything done before the festival.
Here's a random question. How long does it take to make an effigy?
Nice question.
Is a good question.
These are the questions the book does not prepare you for.
Also, how long would it take to irreparably damage the process of making an effigy?
Okay. The townsfolk are halfway done with their effigy.
Sabotage. That's the word I was looking for.
They have made up to Strahd's waist.
Still not identifiable.
There's just a pair of wicker pants standing in the town square.
Do we know how long ago they started that?
At least within the week, since they have weekly festivals.
So do we just want to, like, destroy the thing before we leave? In a stealthy, hey, we're destroying your stuff kind of way?
It could work.
So what you're saying is we want to try to stop them from doing what they're trying to do.
Or at least delay them.
Yeah, I think we're trying to prevent Strahd's wrath from coming down upon Valaki. Valaki, for its faults, doesn't need to be destroyed, and I think...
Who among us is the most trustworthy?
Probably...
Well, obviously me.
Oh gosh, this kid again.
That might be true.
Is it though?
I mean, as his subordinate, sure, but like, he may actually be able to get the information we possibly need.
People do look up to me.
Who?
They do not. They look down to you.
To Majestic, who is the most charismatic member of our party.
Should I try talking to the bowel movement?
Oh!
If you want.
I go to Hep immediately. Because I remembered how innocent he appears.
Hep is still nursing a hangover and
She
probably
appears.
under a table somewhere.
Yes.
Hep needs to get the F better because he needs to find out who's the second in command of this town.
Oh, all right. With every step. Ow.
Oh.
Ow.
As Hep looks outside, even though it's completely overcast, it is still like the sun is shining through the clouds without problem.
I will go. You wanted to know who second in command is? I
I'm
will
sorry.
Go find out.
I'm so sorry.
Is second in command our good friend Isaac?
Say it again, Melissa.
Second in command our good friend Isaac, who loves us so much.
Do you mean second in command of Valaki? Felge?
Yeah. I'm trying
Okay.
to figure out if we kill the mayor, will he stop the festivals?
So I think you're probably right, Melissa, but I don't know if it's official versus like just because he's such a dominating person. Do we know that?
What his temperament is, I guess.
No, Ezek. Do we know if Ezek is officially or unofficially in command?
You know that he's the burgomaster's right-hand man.
But does that mean that he's actually the second in command, or does that
You
mean
don't
that,
really
that
know.
it's more of like a mob
I'm
relationship?
gonna go up to Ezek and say, if something were to happen to the burgomaster, what would the town do?
You'll have to find Ezek first. He's not in the inn.
Ah, shit.
I will find him.
Hep, drink a lot of water and go back to sleep.
All right, that sounds good.
Like way more water than you think you need.
Like, almost until you have to throw up, but do not throw up the water.
Yes.
I will begin drinking water.
Okay. Oh, it's funny that you mentioned your friend Ezek, because to the inn he comes,
Well, that's good.
and he looks at you, all of you, and narrows his eyes and says, "There was strange noise in night. Trouble from you."
Wait, how would he have heard that?
Where were you? I didn't hear anything.
He does not answer your question, just says, "What was noise?"
I apologize. Sometimes I stutter.
No, Hep.
He gives he gives Hep like a very venomous glare.
No, I will go back to water.
And then he looks back at all of you, and his monster hand seems to kind of clenching into a fist and releasing slowly, clenching to a fist, releasing slowly, over and over again.
You said his monster hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just kind of looks at you and says, "There will be no more trouble today. Yes?"
Yes.
There might be.
I walk away.
But before you go, Ezek, how do you feel about the burning of the effigy in 2 days' time?
It will be grand festival. Much happiness for all the townsfolk. You are
What
not
if-
invited.
What if Strahd shows up?
He will not show up. Strahd is forbidden from this place. He could not possibly enter due to how happy we are. Look how happy I am. Look at how happy I am.
Look at how happy I am.
Thank you for clarifying.
Is this guy implying we can beat the villain with Prozac?
Insight check on how happy he is. How happy is he?
Let's see that insight check.
I'm getting there.
Spoiler, he is not happy.
Wow, interesting.
It's like a DC 5, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna ask one more question, and this one is probably an unwise question. Would you possibly manage to be even happier with potentially fewer festivals?
He, like, almost recoils from the suggestion and says, less festivals? No, that will not do. Such ideas bring trouble. You are indeed trouble, as I thought.
Alas, I was but a fool to suggest such a thing.
Yes, very foolish. We do not need your foolishness here.
Agreed. And I will be gone as soon as I can.
He sort of nods in a very self-satisfied way and says, good, then you will be gone, and all will be well.
Very soon. Not necessarily today, but very soon.
He sort of turns to leave and then looks back at you and says, not today? No. There cannot be more trouble today.
Well, our bard was hoping to play at your festival.
The bard plays awful music. Terrible. Would not make people happy.
Ouch.
Yeah, surely it is better than any music you have already lined up.
He looks outraged at the suggestion and says, that is it. You are trouble. Your ideas are trouble, and you will leave. Now.
You poor fool. And I will leave the inn.
Okay.
And kind of hang about. Like, I'm gonna, like, stealth shit. And, like, I'm gonna wait until he's gone and then go back in.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Yeah, you're definitely hidden.
Okay, good.
Oh. Understandably.
I'm trying to find the perfect song. It'll happen eventually.
I've got you, Mason. Whisper it to me, and I'll get you there.
Can you?
Wait, was that it? Is it on YouTube? We're gonna find out. Traveling day.
You have all of us on the
I know.
edge of our
On
seats,
the edge of our
Mason.
seats. Yeah.
We just we've got to find out what song is he going to try to play for us now.
So while Mason's doing that, what are the rest of you up to? You all making your way out of the village, or what else do you want to do?
Oh God.
That the outsiders have brought with them.
Their music.
So that's a thing, too.
Who are you looking for
Oh
now?
man, I've listened to this all day.
Their music. Their music.
Well done.
Just as a reminder, the inn is N2 in the center of town here.
What's that big N1 building?
That is St. Andrew's Church, a slouching, centuries-old stone church. The bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked, stained glass windows depicting saints. Okay. Where would you like to go to look for the Burgomaster?
Is there a town hall?
Yes, there he does have his own mansion, N3. And if you're standing outside the inn at N2 and can kind of look down the street, the Burgomaster is actually walking through the street with his wife and his 2 hounds.
Ooh.
And they look like this. Oh, that's right. Apparently they're the Baron and the Baroness, not the Burgomaster. But don't they look like a lovely couple?
That
that
image is very small compared to the rest of them.
It
but
is.
I want to kill him.
I'm convinced that his happiness alone could stave off Strahd.
Indeed.
He looks like a positively cheerful individual.
Yes, he's sort of walking down the center of the road with his wife right behind him, and he's kind of waving to the townsfolk as if he's, in a parade. But the townsfolk kind of half-heartedly look up, maybe wave back, or maybe give him a weak smile. And he just goes through, "Don't fear, my people. All will be well. Continue gathering wicker for our festival in 2 days. Yes, indeed, 2 days until the greatest celebration of the year." And he sort of makes his way up the path here, and sees you, Mr. Moe, and the rest of you, kind of by the inn, and says, "Welcome, travelers. Indeed, welcome to the happiest place in all of Barovia." He seems to be pleased by your politeness, especially calling him sir.
I glare. That's my
He looks
default.
at you.
If I don't say anything, I'm glaring.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, do not frown, my scaly friend. Everything will be well."
This is not a frown.
Now, it's certainly not a smile.
I do not smile. I do not have the musculature for it. Have you met a dragonborn before?
He gives you a pitying look and says, "I'm sure you could if you tried hard enough, but never mind that.
I bare my teeth.
It is a very lovely town."
I bare my teeth in the most menacing way I can. Not like with eyes, not my eyes being menacing, just my teeth.
Yeah, he definitely takes his attention away from you very, very quickly.
As he yeah, warp teeth. As he looks away, I just say, "This is me smiling."
In response to your question, Mo, he says, "Yes, I've been here my whole life." And it is indeed a beautiful town. Don't you agree, Baroness? And she has like a very distant look on her face, but then she kind of snaps back to attention, like, "Oh, yes, yes indeed, yes indeed. Very happy. All will be well." And just looks like she's strained to like the very edge of sanity.
The very edge of sanity?
Yes, indeed.
like Drusilla. Sorry, we don't have any Buffy fans in the building, do we? I can't
Are
remember.
you
Of course.
freaking stupid?
I don't know.
You're the one who made me watch that show.
Okay.
Like, I watched almost all of it. No, I think I finished Buffy. I didn't finish Angel. That's what it was.
Okay. Well, I'm just I never know how my Buffy references go over, but you're kind of giving me a Drusilla vibe with her.
Ah, Ezek, yes. He has been a splendid help in keeping the town happy. I couldn't... He was irreplaceable. But yes, if you would like to find him... Well, he lives here in the mansion. He gestures back to his own place. We gave him his own room. Absolutely. And he looks to all of you and says, "Tell me, will you be staying for our festival? It is indeed the best celebration of the year."
So, what makes this
By the way,
festival
I'm following
greater
him.
than-
Whoa, winter time.
Say it again,
No.
Elsa.
What makes this festival greater than next week's festival?
Oh, well, obviously H1 is just getting better and better than the previous one. But it is the greatest one of the year so far. But imagine how happy we'll be a couple months from now.
Oh, I can only imagine.
What'd you say, Felch?
I just wanted to say that I was gonna follow Majestic.
Okay. Anything else for the Baron or the Baroness? Or his dogs?
Do they look like good boys?
They look like they'll bite your hand off, boys.
I'd like to see them try, but
They just kind of look at you and have very droopy jowls and
they just need
stern
some
expressions.
Yeah, they just need some good pets. That's it.
Yeah, some tummy rubs.
I'll just I'll just get right in there, give them some tummy rubs. Yeah.
Okay. Please do.
Sarcasm. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, the Baron will continue making his way through the streets then, and will kind of greet people as he walks, but he comes to a sudden stop as one of the townsfolk said something that he didn't quite like, and the smile vanishes from his face, and just kind of bellows out, "Ezek! Ezek! Get over here! We have someone who's unhappy. Do you know what we do with unhappiness in this place? Unhappiness is a plague, and I cannot have any type of filth like that here in my town right now. Ezek, take this man and take him out of the village. You are banished." Okay. What is this prank box?
Prank box.
And while he's typing that, you all notice the Baron definitely has, now that he's angry and no longer has the smile plastered on his face, he looks like some kind of horrible villainous figure now.
Yeah. I mean, he looked
yeah.
like a villainous figure before.
Even more so now, just horribly twisted and evil looking.
Did we hear what the passerby said that enraged him so?
No. No, you did not.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I was about to say, I really wish that I had some spells here.
You do indeed detect evil coming from the Baron.
Okay.
But not his wife or his dogs.
Interesting.
Nor do you really sense it coming from Ezek. Just the Baron.
Excuse me, sir, you smell.
He spins towards you. He still has like the enraged expression on his face. He says, "I what?"
You smell. You reek. An odor is being emitted by you that is quite distasteful to me.
His mouth just kind of twitches. It's like he doesn't know what to say, and he's just so angry. And he says, "Who are you to speak to me so? Do you know who I am?"
Do you know who I am?
No, obviously not.
Then why do you expect me to know who you are?
He kind of draws himself up and says, "I am the Baron of Valaki, the happiest town in Barovia, and I will be the people's savior here, as long as people are happy. And it's people like you who go around saying people smell bad, that make people unhappy."
Allow me to introduce myself. I am the next Baron of Valaki.
He just like, what?
You heard me.
I'll step forward and I'll say, "And I'm his campaign manager."
The Baron looks more confused than angry at this point. He's like, "What are you blabbering about?"
Eureka, I like it. I just say, they're there. I'm sure we will see each other again.
He kind of stammers a moment and says, Ezek, arrest this man." And Ezek approaches and
when Ezek
very...
moves, I am going to so
Wait.
move.
Wait.
Okay.
Does Ezek approach us?
He does.
Oh.
I meant to do that, but didn't mean to click it, so that's the thing, if we want that to be a thing.
Is it... Wasn't that one of Youth's spells as well?
Hypnotic pattern?
Yeah, you would like shake your hips or whatever.
Well, that was just my like innate.
I'm kidding. Everybody.
Realistically, but bizarre charisma score that made that happen.
So I'm gonna start with.
Oh no, it was Sparty.
Hypnotic pattern, and then we're gonna do a little bit of initiative just so I can keep it in track.
Oh boy. Oh, this is turning into a whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get a random counter.
I detect the evil.
I'm really hoping
that the
GM
that's where
can
I'll
see
start.
my whispers.
Okay.
Because that's gonna happen.
Let's have.
Oof, Belgar.
I'm gonna put you guys here.
Where's initiative again?
Top middle.
Top center.
Melissa, I'm the Yasha of this campaign, I think.
So that's your character token.
The one that was added was way higher.
Is this all happening outside the bar,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Wait, why am I
I'm
not
drinking water?
Okay, let me get a token for the Baron. And that can be the Baroness. Why not?
I was also not added. The first roll was when I had not selected my character. The second one
You
was
can
when I had
edit
selected my character.
your own initiative score usually.
So
No, it's just not on there.
you can add me wherever I should be, I guess.
No, Felge, you can click on your own number in the turn
He
order.
doesn't have a number up.
Oh.
I'm not in the turn order.
Sorry, I thought you were saying you entered it wrong, like right one time and wrong the other time.
No, like I'm not there, and I don't know why.
Okay. Did you have your
Because
token selected?
When we came to this map, I selected my character and re-rolled, and I was not here.
Very odd.
Okay. The guy with the hood will be the Baron. The person on the right will be his wife.
Now I'm the most initiative.
And
Yeah, so
we'll
now you can
have-
click on your number and type in what you originally rolled.
This will be Ezek. So, let's do. This will be Ezek. This will be the Burgomaster
Baron.
and his wife.
Baroness.
Look at that too. All right. Baroness with a 16. All right, so we'll open with Melissa's hypnotic pattern. Great, it's a wisdom saving throw. A wisdom save for Ezek is as follows. Wow.
Ooh, that's a flat 0.
Well, that's a thing that happened just now.
Ooh.
The Baron.
This fight might be over before it begins.
Yeah, I think it might be over.
Those all fail.
Yeah. Well.
Charm for the duration.
Also, I am not with the
Incapacitated.
party at this point. I was stalking them with my stealth roll.
Okay. That's
So
fair.
I was like probably here.
Okay. No problem.
But the spell ends for them as soon as they take damage. So just.
So, all three are affected by your spell, and they kind of come to a stop and look kind of confused as to what was going on. Like, Ezek's like, why am I about to take you out? What would you like to do while they're charmed?
Oh,
What would you like
crap.
to say to them?
They get talking stuff now. So I guess I'll look at the Baron and just. So why do you need everyone to be happy?
Because happiness is the only cure for our current predicament.
Why do you oppose Strahd?
He's the devil.
Anyone else got any good questions or thoughts or?
Well, I didn't sense that he was evil. Otherwise, I would just be like asking who he's aligned with, or.
Right, I didn't sense he was evil.
No, I
either.
know.
I mean, I guess at this point, shoot.
So, Glortok, what would you like to do?
I look at the Baroness and her dogs,
Mhm.
and I will say to the Baroness, home.
Okay, they're going to
She's
immediately.
incapacitated though, isn't she?
Yeah, she can't
Ah,
move. They're all incapacitated and have a speed of 0 until this spell ends.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay. I will also move to here.
Okay. Azariah.
What? That's me. Oh gosh. I guess I'll turn my attention to the Baroness and ask her if she's happy.
Ooh.
She immediately responds, "No."
This is like a soap opera.
Why not?
None of these festivals work. We're constantly haunted by the devil. He attacks the walls. There's monsters. There's werewolves to the north. There's a bad mage doing who knows what. And these inane festivals, day after week after month, all worthless.
Does it look like I mean, does the burgermaster seem aghast at this or reacting to it at all?
It's kind of gotten a bit stone-faced at this news.
Fair. Totally fair.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
Okay. The Baroness is unable to move. So we'll go to Majestic.
Minor illusion.
Oh. A sun?
Whoa. That's brilliant. Oh, I didn't mean it like that, but like I meant it literally so that like that's actually a really good idea.
Okay. Do you hang the sun up in the air?
I assume you say it like any proper showman would. We bring the light.
Perfection.
There are audible gasps from all of the townsfolk all about you. Some even like just immediately burst into tears because they have heard about the sun but have never seen it before.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I just realized you have seen the sun. They haven't. Holy shit.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, people are like recoiling in horror and amazement, and they don't really know how to react to this. And the Baron himself, his jaw just drops. He says, "The sun."
Fearing Strahd only hurts us all. We must stand against him, but not with happiness. Nay, not with fake happiness, especially. Wait, it's not my turn. What am I doing? Don't listen to my speech. No, don't.
Okay.
I don't know. What are you doing?
Let me see. Do you have inspiration right now, Mr. Mo? Okay. No, I was going to give you a point of inspiration if you didn't have one.
Sorry, man.
Anywho, anything else you would like to do on your turn, Majestic?
You should give him a point of inspiration regardless. That was a really good move.
I'll take
Well,
away
they
your
don't
old one
stack.
and give you a new one. Okay. Gizmo.
Okay. I will move, and I will address the what do you say was a Baron?
The Baron.
And say, as you can see, my campaign is quite well organized. And cast a spell. Or no, let's cast a spell. Do that on the Baron.
Oh. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh gosh, are we just gonna like execute this guy? Is that what's happening right now?
Ezek is unable to move. Did you want to move anymore, Gizmo? Are you good?
I moved as much as I could.
Okay. Ezek cannot move. Felge.
I can move, and I can move a lot.
Oh, no.
So, who is the Burgermeister?
That'd be this guy here.
This guy.
Okay. I am going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That is well within my movement range. And then I'm going to use a flurry of blows.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And I'm going to use another flurry of blows.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to use stunning strike on all of them.
Oh no.
So, I think that's 8 key points.
And wait, hang on. The bonus equals your. Wait, is Hexblade's curse just for you or for anybody? The curse.
That's,
you gain a bonus. Any attack roll made against the curse target is a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. If the cursed target dies, you regain hit points.
Okay. Apparently, I don't have enough key points to do stunning strike on all of them. So the first 4 will have stunning strike. The last 2 will not. Okay.
Okay. Have at it.
Do I just click on the attack? Is that how this works?
Yes. Well, those are indeed all hits.
I mean, he quote unquote technically has to make a will save for all of them, but I don't care.
I am
also the first one's a 19.
Oh, it is. Well, needless to say, the Baron is not getting up again.
Oh dear. What have we done?
It turns out that I'm the villain of this campaign.
I mean, I think we all knew it. We were just waiting to see how it manifested.
There are stunned gasps from everybody. Like, first the suns appeared, then someone just showed up out of the shadows and just pummeled Baron to death.
Oh dear.
So Belgar, how do you respond to that?
I am just dumbfounded. Like, I don't think that this was the worst thing in the world to do. I'm just so surprised.
Are you wishing you did your speech earlier?
Kind of now,
It's gonna look
but,
silly now, yes.
but he would have died. It would have been okay. I guess I can address the townspeople now and just kind of own this.
Please do.
Well, hey, don't goad me into anything, Mr. DM. I need to take a turn to think about life and who I'm grouped with, who my party members are. Because, like, again, I didn't know this guy was evil. I'm just seeing these things happen. Like, obviously he was a bad ruler of the city, and obviously his methods weren't working, but, like, that doesn't doom anyone to death automatically. So I'm trying to figure all this out.
Okay. Can I tell everyone my thought process for killing him?
I don't really even want to know it. Like,
no, it was. I'm chaotic. I'm chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
So he is the reason this town could potentially be taken over by Strahd. And Strahd is my enemy currently. So I figured killing him could save the town. So I killed him.
Because
and
the
I get
enemy
that.
of my enemy is my enemy.
And
because the idiot of my enemy is my enemy. Yes.
Right. Like if you were to say that to me, like candidly, and if we were to have a discussion about it, that's kind of fine. But like
after this fight, I'm happy to tell you anything
that's
you want.
Yeah, and but I can't react to your unspoken, motives at this point. So I'm just trying to figure out how I would
attack me. You're welcome to.
I wouldn't. I'm just trying to figure out how Balgar would react in this moment, and I think it's just stunned silence for the most part. for now, at least. For now.
Sparty, how about Folan here?
Folan doesn't really understand what the hell's going on.
Do any of us?
Some folks with dogs walked up, and then we murdered one of them.
That's the best summary so far.
Well, welcome to D&D.
Yeah.
Not necessarily any just cause, except Paladin hit first.
Except Paladin didn't even hit.
Okay.
Paladin was charging.
So Paladin ran at them with murderous intent first. It's apparently okay to commit murder, which Folan is not necessarily on board with that train of logic.
Hey, that's an assumption you don't have to make. Like, no one said it was okay to commit murder. They just committed the murder.
I'm just saying, I don't know that Folan would be on board.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Like, I'm still figuring it out too.
Did the murder just happen?
It just happened. Yep. Like, he was behind him. What's your name? Sokol was behind him, and just walked up and flurry of blew him. He just blew him.
Okay. Right for the record, I was stealth.
He stealthily blew him.
So he just
frantically
died.
Stealthily.
Yeah, frantically.
And then you were like, "Oh my god, Sokol just killed him." So I was a 21 stealth at that point, and then I ran into the battlefield and suddenly killed the Burgomaster. So that's what you guys have to do.
And we've got, oh man, what
I'm
a day!
In my Folan is slightly hungover status would probably cast who just murdered someone.
Oh.
Be like, are you out of your damn mind?
Okay, Velge, make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
I'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Do I just hit strength?
Saving throw section right next to the attributes. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So, roll damage, Sparty.
No, he's got to make a second strength.
Oh, 2.
Oh wait. Oh, never mind. It's just one.
No, it's
He's trying to break out with another one. 7 damage. The fist will grab him and be like, "Killing strangers bad, dude."
I will speak up at this point. He was evil. It's okay.
Wait,
No.
so I took
No.
7 damage?
Yes.
Is that what happened? Oh, that's fine.
We'll look at the paladin and say, "No." Evil monsters, sure. Evil strangers on the street, you know what? Maybe he partied so hard last night his alignment changed. He does not.
Are you trying to
deserve
tell me
to die
something?
For that. You don't know his life.
He does because he cast sense whatever fuck he
No
cast.
spell.
and-
No spell can tell you a person's life in 5 seconds, okay? Don't make a
He
judgment.
knows I'm not evil?
You can fuck with the results of a spell.
That's
you should
true.
not base
You're
your
right.
life
You're
decisions
totally
off
right. You're totally right. I understand. I get it.
your life decisions off one spell. But I don't know fuck all about magic, so I'm probably also not the person to lecture you about that.
No. I understand why you hurt me. It's okay. I saved the fucking world. And
Whoa,
it's
okay.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand why you're mad. It's okay.
Boss, can I the fingers shut him up?
Sure.
Cover his mouth?
Sure.
Okay, I do that. You've made him arrogant and full of himself. Don't do that. That's almost worse than the murder.
So, would you like to move, Sparty?
I mean, I don't know what I'd like to do.
Is acrobatics the new escape artist?
You'll have to make a strength check when it's your turn next.
Okay.
But I will probably I'm not gonna move.
Okay. The townsfolk.
Wait. I'm restrained right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
From a distance?
Yes.
The ground is.
Yeah, it's.
At the ground
you.
literally
That's
grabbed
the
you.
worst. Oh my god, that's the worst. Okay, I'm chill. We're good.
Townfolk.
The townsfolk begin to applaud. And cheers go up saying, "He's dead! The Baron is dead!" And everyone seems to be jubilant. The happiest Valaki has been in probably a very long time.
As soon as I hear this jubilation, I will make the fist let go of him and say, "Okay, fair game."
Ezek and the Baroness are still charmed, I think, and have kind of they're trying to process what's going on.
I will motion towards them and say to the party, "They're okay. We can let them go."
I feel like we should still tell Ezek that he's no longer welcome in the city, though.
That would probably be
I'll get rid of
quite considerate of his life and everybody else's.
the Baroness, assuming you let them go after the charm wears off, she just says, "I'm going to go home now."
Perfect.
And she takes her dogs and will go home.
How do the dogs look?
Indifferent. They kind of
Oh.
sniff the dead body, but don't really care much about it.
I was hoping that they would look relieved as well.
Ezek looks almost confused, lost and confused. And he says,
I really want to go to Sparty soon. After this, it's fine.
Ezek looks around, just, "The Baron is dead. What will Ezek do now?
Wait, who said that?
Ezek.
Oh wait, so he spoke in the third person?
Yes.
Ezek will leave.
Yes. Ezek is not happy. Everyone is happy but Ezek. And with that, he will begin walking east to the gate of Valaki.
Someone should go after him and tell him to join our party. But well, before that happens,
was that the conclusion?
Before that happens, I want to say, first of all, Sparty, I understand. I get it. It's all good. I'm not gonna kill you in your sleep, as far as you know.
Don't trust him.
And then I'm going to step forward and say to the people, you are free now. You can find your own happiness.
They respond with a cheer.
And I will be very tired and want to go somewhere to rest.
Okay.
Isn't it morning?
It is still morning. It's probably maybe like 10 a.m.
What a way to start the day, man.
We've done a lot before noon.
He did a lot of punches.
So...
No, like literally I spent all of my key on that.
I know you did.
Like, all of it is gone after that.
Very determined to set the people
So,
free.
Vineyard?
So what?
Vineyard?
Vineyard?
The winery.
Oh, yeah.
The whole point of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still am not gonna be as useful later, but whatever. Who cares? I only destroyed the evil that was in this town. Whatever.
Okay.
Also, I
Not very
literally
different.
cannot believe that I single-handedly killed that guy. Like,
Well,
that is mind-blowing.
He's
Well, I think
he's
you
not a
used both of your
combat
guns.
like he's just a patrician, like a
He's like
No,
a
still
challenge level.
though,
figurehead
I
person.
cannot believe that because 3.5 monks didn't kill anything ever. So it's sort of shocking. I can't deal.
Felch have his moment.
Thanks. It's special.
Deserve this happiness. You gave them happiness. You should get happiness from it too.
Yeah, and like actually, I think the biggest thing for Balgar is seeing the city's reaction kind of justifies it, or at least like that will color his opinion of the situation, what just happened. Which goes a long way, because at the time, like, I did not think that it was the right thing to do, but obviously the people are voting, that it was the right thing to do, so that helps.
Well, we also potentially saved an entire city.
Right.
From literal death.
Also, we should destroy the whatever of the effigy still was built, and just get that over with as well.
Okay. The effigy is being constructed over here by N5.
Not anymore.
And when you kind of arrive there to burn down what they have, you find it's already being burned down.
Oh dear. Well, I wasn't gonna burn it. I was actually gonna cut it up.
No, they're burning it.
Okay. Because like it was meant to be burned, but I was trying to.
Yeah, but not public effigy is not the same as a public.
No, I know.
And it's only complete up to the waist.
Right. That could have been
Anybody's waste.
Anybody's waste. The what's his name's waste.
Yeah, totally.
I cannot tell you how much differently this played out compared to the other campaign.
Well, we might need a like a
I
retrospective.
would like to hear about it
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, when the time comes, I'll do a side-by-side comparison. Okay. So are you all planning to go to the winery then?
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness
down with
will
it
not
personally.
be from pointless festivals. It will be from wine. No.
Alrighty. Off you go. So yeah, it's probably 10 o'clock in the morning right now, as you leave Valaki and proceed west towards Point W. And there's a landmark at these crossroads here.
What kind of landmark?
Does
Let's see. Here we go. The river crossroads, the Luna River crossroads. The road comes to an X intersection with branches to the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. The lower half of a snapped wooden bridge signpost thrusts upward at an angle near the eastern elbow of the intersection. The top half of the sign, featuring arms pointing in 4 directions, lies in the weeds nearby. It looks like if you were to say, put the pieces together, you'd be able to see what the sign was supposed to say.
Okay. Can do that.
Okay. Pointing to the east, or the northeast, it says Valaki.
Mm-hmm.
To the southwest, it says Solenka Pass. Lake Baratok to the northwest, and Berez, here we go, like Berez to the southeast. Ismark, who is accompanying you, will say, "Oh, it's a real shame about Berez. I heard that, well, about 10 years ago, they did something to provoke Strahd's anger, and he caused the mountains to flood in the springtime and wash the whole city away.
Oof.
Now there's just a ruin of a drowned city left behind."
Well, first of all, would we have heard anything about Berez? Like, any of us?
That is the first time you've heard the name.
Okay. And then I was gonna kind of say the same, or ask the same question for what was southwest, which was
Yes, Solenka Pass. Let me scroll
Solenka
down.
Pass. Does that ring any bells?
And he will say that pass leads up to the top of Mount Gacchus, and well, I've heard it's a very bitterly cold journey. Nobody goes up there without wearing very, very warm clothing. And at the top, they say it's where Strahd himself went at the beginning of, well, he gestures all around all of this. It's where he got his power.
Ooh, interesting.
Or so they say, anyway.
I'm gonna put that in my pocket. Save that for later. That seems like a plot point.
Speaking of plot points, everyone do intelligence checks.
Gladly.
Some of us are smarter than others.
I am the
Yeah, that's a
smartest of
fact.
the dum-dums.
Oh, man.
Balgar and Azariah. When Ismark tells you about Berez, you think about it for a little bit, and it reminds you that you have heard about a sort of a drowned village before, recently.
A drowned village before recently.
Okay, do they actually know about this? Have you told us about this, or what?
Yes, correctly.
Oof.
And as you ponder, you remember hearing something similar to that in one of your fortunes.
Okay.
Oof, I think there is a Discord moment about that.
Potentially. I kind of want to look at the reading. Was it in a reading, or was it in a something that Madame Eva just said to us?
It was in the reading she gave you.
Okay, then let me look. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Conjurer. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a dead village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought evil to the world, great evil into the world.
That certainly does seem a lot more, or rather less vague. So that seems to be something to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
After we sort out wine.
That is always the priority, isn't it? Okay, so we save the wine, and then we just take a straight shot. Here, let me draw it for you. Polygon line, straight shot right from there to there, just straight across, and then we're good.
I'm not seeing the line.
Me neither.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Okay.
So to do that, you would need to cross over the top of that mountain there, or part of the mountain. Oh, that wouldn't be the same D&D experience, I feel.
I don't really have any affinity for alcohol. As Balgar, I should say. But it seems like the thing to do.
Everyone make perception checks.
If only that were charisma based. Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's my second 8 perception.
I mean, Gizmo, you got a 4, but I also got a 4. So, oof.
Apollo.
Yeah.
To the northwest, that northwest path, there's kind of a rustle of leaves, and as you see this coming from the trees, out between the trees into the kind of the middle of the path.
Okay.
And do you draw anyone's attention to it?
It seems a perfectly natural thing. I won't.
Okay. Upon kind of seeing that there's a group of you in the road, it kind of stops and turns its head to look at you.
Do we notice it at that point?
No.
Okay.
Only Apollo's has noticed it so far.
Well, now that it's just standing there and looking at us, I will mutter to the person next to me. Huh. That's a weird looking elk.
Wait, what did we say was wrong with it?
Well, it's just standing there staring at us.
That's one of the things elk do.
We did not even notice the elk. That's why him saying, "Huh, that's a weird looking elk," is significant.
No, I know that. I'm just saying elk often just stand and stare. And if he
do they?
Yes, they do.
How sure are you?
I'm quite sure. I have seen many elk. I have hunted elk.
As you discuss elk, you there's a sudden.
Okay, they don't do that though.
Do you fools think you're a match for my magic?
No.
Yeah. Was that coming from the elk?
This was coming from the elk indeed.
I'm gonna summon a weapon.
I have no key left, so my punches are one at a time, two at a time. I mean,
See, I was thinking of casting a spell.
What is
but now I'm less sure that I want to cast a spell.
What was the mad magician's name?
You never got a name from them.
But they referred to him as the mad magician or something?
Yes. The mad mage of Mount Baratok.
Is the story implying that he was mad like crazy or mad like angry?
I assumed
Or
crazy.
Crazy.
Because the card talks about a wizard with a cracked mind.
And that's fine. I just wanted to clarify because those
Yeah.
are two very different circumstances.
Is this the mad mage we have been told of? I say.
Are you speaking to the elk?
I am.
Or just the elk kind of takes a few steps closer to your group and says, "Mad? Me? No. I am quite sane. It is the rest of this place that is mad."
Well, sane mage, do you have another name?
The elk laughs again. Of course, but you shall not know it. It is mine, my name. And
totally sane.
I think you. Oh.
Does that work on magically possessed animals?
It's probably like a wild shape or something. It's probably not.
Like if the animal, it won't work because the animal's not actually speaking.
Well, that's yet to be determined.
I mean, carry on. Obviously, my saying of things can't change things. You already cast the spell.
And you beat my spell save DC by 1, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. A kind of a glimmer comes into the elk's eye, and he says, "Ah, spells! Yes, indeed." And the elk will cast a spell.
Ooh. Hopefully not one that requires a somatic component.
Oh. No. Okay. I won't be... I could be extremely mean, but I won't be mean.
Aww.
I'll just be really mean instead. Where
I was about to say, what part of today...
Who truly appreciates the kindness the GMs consistently show us. I'm glad you're only really mean.
Yeah, what are you saying, Mason?
I was saying, what part of today says, you know what, I should be nice to this party. These guys, it's a reasonable bunch of people.
All right. Well, a wall of water springs before the elk. And this is no ordinary wall of water. This is like a 300-foot high tidal wave tsunami of water.
Yeah.
Everyone make strength saving throws.
Yeah.
This is gonna go well.
so well.
Hey-yo, it's a 26.
Whoa.
I don't know why my strength saving throws have to be so goddamn low when I have a plus fucking 5.
That's quite
Hey,
good.
at least you don't have a -1.
Yes.
Could I see him casting that spell?
Uh-oh.
Yes, you could.
I'm
I
getting
know it's been a
counterspell.
hot minute, but could I have counterspelled? Brief moment. I'm gonna let you make the call on that, but I have counterspell and could, in theory, try to
Let me see.
call on that.
Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability.
I can do that. I'm
Oh no, hep hep.
be charismatic.
Oh. Do you have inspiration, Sparty?
Probably. I've never spent it.
No,
You
I
may
mean,
want to use it.
it's on your character sheet. If you have like the inspiration box checked, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
I don't, but I don't think I've ever spent it. I think I just never checked it, honestly.
Yeah, I don't remember you using it.
Did we?
I've
all
used
get
it several
inspiration at some
times
point?
already, so
Yeah, you should have all started with inspiration.
next.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I will use it.
Okay.
Seems
So-
like a lot of rash decisions, but I'm gonna go for it because why not?
Theme of the day.
Yeah, I will inspire myself. I don't
Okay.
remember what that does.
It gives you advantage on any roll.
So hit the advantage button on your character sheet before you roll whatever you're gonna roll.
Or just
Oh.
re-roll your
Or just re-roll that
charisma.
charisma roll.
Was it a check or a save? Oh,
not bad.
Oh no.
Oh.
happens to the best.
What
of
I'm
us.
gonna do is at anything and don't say anything. I'm going to bend luck. 2 sorcery points and get to add 1d4 to my ability check. Good one, not the shit.
That
Does that wait? Hang on. Does that work? Can you do it for?
it does because it was at
It would have been an advantage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that does
so
work. That
his
does work.
old
Yeah, yeah.
save would have worked.
Yes.
Technically,
Yes.
Technically, both happened simultaneously, and
Yes,
the 17 is the
correct.
save that mattered.
Right.
And luck. And if this is the one, I'm gonna be pissed. The 19 good enough for me to counterspell and cast the actual counterspell spell?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
19 is barely
Hang on.
to
Okay.
spell tsunami.
We're actually, so I was counterspelling?
Yeah, I'll let you dispel or get rid of tsunami.
Okay, I'm gonna actually. I didn't realize I was counterspelling. I thought I was just
Kind
being
of awesome.
allowed to counterspell.
Oh, I thought,
I'm excited by that.
but yeah, we'll go with it.
No,
Unless
this
you'd
was
like to take 6d10 damage.
That sounds like
that
a
was
good
just
time.
me misunderstanding the circumstances. I thought I was just being allowed to counterspell. I'm totally down for actually counterspelling.
Okay, yeah, I misunderstood then, but yes, you are indeed able to counterspell tsunami.
Yeah, I like your version of it better. I was just misinterpreting what you were saying.
Okay, well, after all that, this humongous wall of water rushes towards you and is gone because the spell is interrupted while it's being cast. And the elk just kind of stands there and blinks a few times and says, "Huh. How about that?"
Show the elk a birdie.
Whoa.
A magic one.
Not your middle finger.
That one. That was the one I was showing.
Okay.
I wasn't conjuring like a magical bird.
I was just being clear.
That's a valid question, honestly.
The elk then laughs again. A true mage is among us. Yes, indeed. It's been so long since I've met another mage of such caliber.
No, a true mage is a magus.
The elk just kind of glances at you. Never you mind.
I thought that was a good pun.
That's pretty savage. Remember, I cannot flurry of bullets anymore today.
What are other people react? How are other people reacting to this situation?
I am trying to not die.
I'm
I'm just trying to like maybe be behind a tree or something that I'm very close to so that I can hold on to if another tsunami comes my way.
I would like to cower behind so-called shadow. Behind the tree.
You're welcome to, because I'm not opposed to your tender grasp.
Well,
Okay.
You are one right now.
So I'm ready to sprint into action if need be, but at the moment I'm just waiting to see how things go.
Yeah, I've got weapon out and just waiting.
I'm not taking any aggressive stance or anything. I view this as harmless old guy who's just crazy. But like I don't need to take up arms against him or anything.
Majestic said, "We need to bind him, so we have the opportunity to cast a strong healing spell on him. He's too powerful to be left like this."
Yes, that's the one that I was talking about earlier. The cracked mind mage.
Yes, but only my version was understood by everyone.
What?
I recall. Yeah, so he definitely seems to be mad. So have we figured out how he is an elk?
Make knowledge arcana checks. Or just arcana checks, I suppose.
Oh.
I've made you roll too many intelligence rolls, Gizmo.
It would not make sense for me to make a knowledge arcana check, so I'm just gonna pass.
It mildly makes sense for me to make another one, so that's why I did, which we failed, obviously.
Majestic, you think that this elk is a polymorphed person, or they've just put themselves in this form for who knows what reason, and is now, just an elk running around, laughing and casting spells. Yes, it is.
So I can't just cast my find mount to make him my mount.
I mean, you can try.
Sounds like a challenge.
It's always an option.
Polymorphed caster. Well, how about it, Fallen? Can you do that? Guess not.
Well, yeah, the elk will laugh again and say, "Don't worry, friends. We shall meet again. Soon, I hope. Yes, very soon."
As he no, never mind. I don't say anything.
How
Okay.
How far away from me is he?
We'll say 50 feet.
Sorry, you cut out. How far?
50 feet.
Okay, 1 second. Let me look at the range of this real quick. Why didn't I put the range in there?
Blast it all! I only have 40 feet range.
Okay.
What's the spell, Melissa?
It's got a range of 60 feet, so I'm going to cast Mind Spike.
Whoa.
Mind Spike.
So I need a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, so he's gonna take. Yeah, so he's gonna take that 13 psychic damage, and then for the next hour, I always know where he is as long as we're on the same plane of his existence.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice!
He cannot become hidden from me and gains no benefit from invisibility against me.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he'll just kind of he'll take the damage and he looks at you and he seems to recognize what you've done to him.
I smile and wave.
And then he says, "Until next time." And then he will cast Time Stop.
What?
Oh.
What?
This is quite the arms race.
I don't think we can outrace Time Stop.
No.
That's like level 8 or
That's a level 9 spell.
9. Yeah.
9.
Yikes.
And when time resumes, he is gone.
Yep.
Wait. When time resumes, When time resumes, he is gone, but none of us are.
No, we're all gone
yeah.
too.
You're all just for you guys. It was just like if he disappeared instantaneously.
No. I mean, none of us are dead.
No.
You can't actually damage people with Time Stop, at least in 3.5. I would imagine it's similar here.
Let me
Well, this is 5. This is 5. 5e.
Yeah, so he had
Yeah,
30
alright.
seconds to basically do whatever he want, but he couldn't
Mostly get away. Yeah.
necessarily-
He had 30 seconds, and he could not slit the throat of any of us while
Or
he's running away.
He chose not to. He said we would meet again. It would kind of ruin his speech if he said that and then slit our throats.
I'm just saying, man, if I had time to stop, I would minimize my losses.
As soon as he does something that would affect someone else, it would have ended the spell.
Okay.
So he
That's
could have killed one
a
person.
very good point. Thank you for
but
that.
Then spell. That's why the correct usage of Time Stop is to cast a bunch of delayed blast fireballs. Dick move.
No, you're right, and
really
that actually explains time stop to me in a way that I could never have gotten it from wikis. So thank you.
He just cast a bunch of delayed blast fireballs, time stop ends, and boom! Giant fire explosion.
Apparently,
Might
you
have done that
saying
once.
that means we're all currently dead because unless our merciful Lord manages to save us.
I might have done that at a campaign once, and it was real funny.
Don't think about it. Just say we're all okay.
Okay, we're alive. No one's dead. I only give boss ideas after the fact. Remember?
Exactly. So don't talk about it. We're all okay. We're going on to the next thing. It's all good.
Just checking here. Boss, do I still have a...
Yes, you do.
Sweet.
He is moving at a rapid pace north. Very fast.
Do we have a general idea of towards where he's heading?
Towards the lake.
Which lake?
This lake.
I
Lake
assume he's
Zarovich.
going to continue past it up towards Mount Baratok.
Well, we can't get there now, so... Meh.
Fine.
Stop your whining.
Yeah. You.
All right. How would you like to proceed?
Towards the winery.
You've got two options. If you want to go that direction, you can take the southern path or the northern path, which is much muddier. Looks like the trail is almost completely overgrown in a few places.
The northern path is muddier.
Yes.
Southern?
But it also says it's a shorter time distance.
By 0.5. By 1.
By 1. Well, there's also the gap kind of between, like, here and here, but
Sure.
Yeah.
negligible.
Negligible.
I say we go. How are we on foot or are we on a cart? What's happening?
Still have cards, right?
Yeah, you still have your carts.
I would say go the southern route just for the cart's sake.
Me too.
Yeah.
A good choice. So you get about here, when you see up here, perched on top, kind of like the bottom of, where like the base of Mount Gacchus, you see what looks like a really old, worn-down mansion, almost more like a castle. Sit perched atop the hill there.
I say we remember this and keep going towards the winery.
Well, does Ismark know anything about it?
Ismark looks up at it and says, "Yes, that is." Let me write this out as well. Argen Vostholt.
Oh.
Okay.
It used to be a castle kept by an order of holy knights that watched over the land, but has long since been destroyed, and now it is nothing more than a haunt for specters.
How destroyed?
It would be... You might be able to pick your way through the ruins, but I'm not sure you would want to go there.
I was about to say, like, that would make a pretty badass, like, base of operations.
What?
But how much higher?
The destroyed ruins of holy knights
That used to watch over the land, yes. How much higher
Well,
is that peak?
The opposite of what a good place to go would be.
Why?
Melissa.
Because what are knights without their without their holiness. They were destroyed. That's a terrible place to go.
Anyway.
Melissa, when you were, if you remember, at the top of Old Bone Grinder, when you were alone, and were querying your patron about the girl you met.
Yep.
Your patron mentioned she was a descendant of Argynvost.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Oh, goddamn.
And so the name Argynvost definitely rings a bell.
Hey, dude, I think Argynvost was a dragon.
Wait, would I know that? Would I know? Wait.
Sorry, that's just the perfect comment. It's so perfect.
Would I know
Awesome.
anything about this, and specifically being a chromatic or a metallic dragon?
Unless she specifically told you that Argynvost, or what her patron had said to her. No.
Well, okay, not that.
She
I just
did,
meant
though.
I meant
Like, I guess, would he have known who Argynvost is?
Oh,
right.
Just
outside
general
of
knowledge?
yeah, because
No.
I'm a dragon born.
No.
Okay. And the dragon girl that we saved didn't say anything about dragons in this land?
Boy, I'm getting my campaigns mixed up.
That's okay. Take your time, figure out who we are.
Because she was also a silver dragon.
Did we bring her?
You did not.
No, she just
Oh.
flew off.
No, I thought you stayed with us.
To Valaki.
Oh.
So then she caught up with us because we're
No.
awesome and told us.
Okay, well then I'm just going to make a mental note and move on.
Yeah, I'll need to rewatch the end of the last thing again. Anyway.
Which metagaming means there's something.
Everyone can roll intelligence.
I love rolling.
This is gonna go well. As it always
And if
does.
that's not a cue as to what this could be.
So many intel checks.
Yeah. Wow, Hep and Azariah. Majestic. Okay.
I did better this time.
Hep, Majestic, and Azariah. As you hear us talk about dragons and whatnot, you also think of Madame Eva's reading.
Oof. I really need to know what that was. What is it? Is it pinned somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the handouts.
It's in the handout section.
I'm going to say that Hep just was kind of reminded of it, but he's definitely not putting two and two together here. He remembers it. Hooray.
Wait a minute. Did we actually successfully complete the first one?
No, you do not have that item at all.
I'm not smart enough to make a comment on this, so I apologize.
So anyway, does anybody recite that?
I assume Majestic would be.
Cool. Cool. That's where a sword is.
Oh, to the tune of...
This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance.
I'm into that. I want you to record an album.
No.
Fine.
Well, you just recorded a single.
Dang it. Cool.
Well, don't worry, I did too, so we'll both be shamed. But
All right.
Just as a side note, I wouldn't mind getting a sword of sunlight. Might be useful for the fightings of the undead.
I don't think anybody's denying that. I just think everybody's still thinking wine is more important for some unknown reason.
We've definitely uncovered some things in this session to revisit, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on a stopping point. We can do it here, and you can decide on which location you want to go to next time, or we can end as you arrive at the winery.
Here's a random question. All this time chilling in a cart,
Mm-hmm.
can that count as a short rest?
Yes, it can.
Yay! Then I don't care.
Does it make? I mean, so jokes aside about the wine, it is kind of the first thing we set out to do. It makes sense to knock that off our list first, and then get back to the other stuff.
As far as I'm concerned.
That works.
Not hearing any objections.
All right. So, winery it is. Along the way, you come up to Point R, which is the Raven River Crossroads. And there's another signpost, one pointing towards Kresik, one towards the back towards Valaki to the east, and then one southwest that says the Wizard of Wines. And we will pick up next time as you enter the winery grounds.
Sounds good.
awesome. Can I just really quickly give a defense of my character? I just want to say my character is not currently evil for killing the Baron because he suspected that the Baron was causing the bullshit in this town. So my character's belief was in order to protect the entire town, he needed to kill the guy who was forcing them to burn the effigy, and that's why he killed him.
I see.
Now, my character is chaotic neutral. In order to be able to continue our quest, my character needed to minimize the negative impacts on our group. Which is why he ended up killing that guy, because burning an effigy of Strahd was doubtless to bring a significant impact on the town. That's what my character was thinking. I am still chaotic neutral. Amen. God bless.
I don't see anything, but I would like to get a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola. I love that. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Frantically get a Coca-Cola.
Frantically.
pushing for so many endorsements, even though literally only us watch these videos
Would anyone like
because they're
a
private.
Coke with their Arby's?
Oh.
Who fucking doesn't want to
Contingency.
cook Arby's?
Your carts are pulled over.
Do Arby's have Pepsi products?
Hold on.
I don't
one moment.
know. I don't remember.
I've been waiting for this.
The mention of Arby's in this campaign.
Oh no! Oh no! I did
Your
it!
carts
No!
are
The session had
suddenly
ended! The session had
pulled
ended!
over to the side
In the second,
as
Arby's does have Coke.
they do.
They do.
as
They're
where
a Coke
is it?
brand.
Ah, here we are.
Like how we're carrying on this conversation as boss is about to really just majorly screw us
Your
over.
party is pulled over by bipedal hippos,
Whoa.
muskets, and blunderbusses.
I am okay with this.
One of them has a long stick that looks like a metal detector and rushes up to your character, Mason.
Oh,
And the metal detector makes a loud beeping noise.
Well,
One of the
no,
hippos
duh.
says, "It's this one over here. Get him. He's violated the code of the multiverse."
Oh
They
no!
rush over, grab you,
Oh
pull you
no!
into their spaceship, and launch out of Barovia, where you are similarly executed.
Do I really need a new character now?
No.
Aww. I wanted that to stick.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that sticks. Hey, I'm voting for sticking. All of us who vote in favor of sticking say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Keep my character.
Okay, we'll kill him.
Okay. I am dead.
Mason, you yourself said you wanted him to be dead.
Well, I said I said I wanted it to stick. I what I meant was I wanted Boss to have had that like ultimatum in his mind that it would have actually killed me.
Well,
but no, this is good. I'm fine with this.
I did. It was just I was having a little bit of second thoughts about having it be technically after the session had ended.
This session has ended about 20 minutes ago.
We are still recording.
We're recording, but technically the session ended 20 minutes ago.
All right, Boss. What do I need to roll?
Let's do a D100.
Woo!
He passed. He passed.
Well,
so
we don't know
hard.
what the role was, like what the
This
requirements
is
were.
5e, not 40k. That passed. If that was a 40k roll,
Boss,
you failed almost
All right.
significantly.
We'll do this.
Horribly.
You are taken to a courtroom.
a courtroom
full
of
these
the
hippos
of the
and
multiverse.
gifts. And imagine a gift with one of those, wigs that the judges wear. And the gift says, "You are accused of using words that are forbidden to be spoken of in the multiverse. How do you plead? And what do you say in your defense?"
Is it GIF or is it GIF?
It is GIF, god damn it. It's a graphic.
How do you plead, Mason?
Guilty.
What do you have to say in your defense? If anything, how do you explain yourself?
Curly fries.
Execute this man.
It was worth it.
All right, it was worth it. I will roll a new character by next session.
I'm very sincerely glad that I was not a part of his actual execution. Thank you so much, Ron.
Arby's is zebra backwards. Okay, Majestic also just said the A word.
I guess from now on we'll just have to say zebra.
Where is my second plan?
Where's my second plan?
Okay, one moment. I just have to look up what this thing's called. Because I know exactly what it looks like.
In all campaigns now, they always have some new code phrase every campaign.
Oh, what Why is it called? Yeah. Actually, you know, I won't do this to two characters in one session.
I could go for a beef
Except
and cheddar.
now somebody is going to bring it up next time just to figure out what the second thing is.
Or just to get a new character.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, man, this character's getting a little boring. Oh.
Maybe you have to ban a different word for next session and not tell us.
All right. Well, hey, that happened.
Actually, you know what? I'll combine them together.
But Mason,
So,
you know
Mason.
what that means.
Before you're executed, Mason,
Yes.
one of these appears in the courtroom.
What the? What the? What?
Ugh.
And it looks at the GIF, kind of recoil from it, and it looks at you and says, "Ah, violators of the multiverse rules. Another one for my collection."
Oh no, am I gonna get caught in an intergalactic crossfire of people who hate Arby's?
And this thing grabs you and adds you to its collection, because this is a
Holy
Morkoth,
shit.
Oh.
an ancient and devious, a voracious collector. Each one travels the planes, amassing valuables, oddities, and cast-offs of the multiverse to make its collection ever more complete.
God damn it, we're gonna face that eventually at some point.
Now the campaign
Yeah.
should be tracking this guy down.
I
You
mean,
said it was-
every campaign, like the lakes of whatever the fucking like esque shit we did, the like fucking all this stuff, Curse of Roots and Stone, all of this should be focused on hunting this guy.
You said it was one of these things. In particular, I hope it's the one in the bottom left because it says wrong.
Agreed.
It's the best one.
So, FYI, I've had that contingency plan in effect since the Lost Mines of Phandelver thing.
Oh wow.
And nobody said Arby's.
I'm surprised by that.
Oh, yeah, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
We have the recordings if anybody wants to watch
really,
through.
Nobody mentioned Arby's in the Lost Mines of Phandelver.
I find that hard to believe, but
I did too.
I'll believe. Like, he was on the lookout for it, so
I think we need to
he
make
would have
up for that.
known.
Majestic, could you write a rap song about curly fries for us?
Eventually, like, we need a curly fries wrap.
Or the song Black and Yellow. You can just make that beef and cheddar.
Beef and cheddar, beef and
Ooh,
cheddar.
that would work too. That would work too. Although they do also have like jalapeno bites, you know, like I bet you could add some fire to those lyrics.
Oh, here we go. Mason, you are
Yes.
taken to an island.
Wait.
Which has the qualities of a dreamscape in which nature and predictability take a backseat to strangeness and chaos.
I'm
Upon
gonna
it
do
is a
this.
jumble of objects and a mixture of creatures, some of which date from forgotten times. So it's shrouded in twilight. The environment is warm and wet, a subtropical or tropical climate that keeps the Morkoth and its guests comfortable. Guests being in quotes.
Mhm.
What do you do, Mason?
Oh, you're on an island in the astral plane. How about that?
That's gonna get.
If only you had a sword with some kind of connection to the astral plane.
Mason, what do you do?
Make friends? Who else is there?
Let's see, who else would be there?
I mean, probably that entire party from the Gundam
Yeah,
one.
I mean, like most of us were all about the freaking curly fries.
Yeah. So, if you recall from our Cyber World campaign, Gizmo's character was swallowed by Dagon and teleported to another dimension.
Maybe Gizmo should tell us what's happening.
I don't think Gizmo would know.
Not likely.
Yeah. We'll say, what was your character's name? Was it Miyuki?
Oh yeah, Miyuki.
Miyuki, yeah. Yeah. If you had ever wondered where Miyuki had ended up,
Kinda.
it's probably here on this astral rock.
Okay then.
I'm so happy that
Well, now
our
every week I'm gonna want
random.
to
Go
check in with Balgar and Miyuki. How are they doing?
How long does it take for a romance to develop?
Yeah.
I'm also really glad that like our multiverse gaming habits are like coalescing into this nonsense, like ridiculous world where Arby's is the devil and Arby's is also the salvation. It's the best.
It's true.
It's just
all the while that I'm on this island in the astral plane, I'm thinking to myself, this is okay. Arby's will save me. I'm not sure how yet, but it will.
I mean, it may take like 4 or 5 sessions of like legit like.
It may take 60,000 years.
Of like
Arby's will save me.
I mean, it might take like boss level premeditation, but like, it's gonna get there. We're gonna save everybody. God damn it! all of our characters are gonna live.
And then we're somehow gonna pull Miyuki into Strahd. It's gonna be weird.
So, from this point going forward, I don't have any additional contingency plans in effect, but I will request we keep Arby's talk down until we get to like a sequel campaign where you try to rescue people from the astral plane.
That is fair.
The Arby's has to
the
come up
Arby's
back
talk
to me.
is just going to be on my part, just like joking.
I mean, it's all been joking, thing, but
yeah, of course it's all been joking.
Yeah.
Right, but well, it has. But at this point, it's kind of transcended just joking into like a theme for us.
a religion.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, it's the perfect theme because they are minimal for our.
So,
what is happening?
I hope everyone takes a moment to just really absorb the image of the GIF, because that is a mighty fine
That
piece
is
of
a
artwork from
fantastic
the D&D people.
The what?
The Hippo Man.
Oh, it was awesome. Where did you get that?
Way back when, in 2nd edition, I think, there was a book called Spelljammer, which was about D&D in space.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, from my understanding, it was incredibly campy. And so, like, they had orcs in space, but they were called Skro instead, which is just orc backwards.
Yeah.
They also had these hippo men that were mercenaries obsessed with the gunpowder or smoke powder. And it was ridiculous. And one of the more recent books for 5th edition included an updated version of the GIF. And one of the D&D lore guys said the best way to introduce them into your campaign, if you use them at all, which you should, is to just have them show up kicking the door down and messing things up, and then have them leave.
Well, that's exactly what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, totally. And, like, we deserved it. Granted, we brought Arby's back into the universe.
If only people hadn't started talking about refreshing Coca-Colas, man.
Right? Like, that was their downfall.
Yeah. Oh, well. We gotta live with it. All right. Well. On that note, good night, everybody. Thank you thank you very much, boss.
Wait.
Huh.
Before good night. Is Mason dead?
No, he's
Mason
on
is-
a rock in the astral plane.
Yeah. Well, Balgar is. Mason's definitely not dead.
Okay, maybe I should rephrase. Does Mason actually have to recreate a new character for our campaign?
Mason will recreate a new character. Yes, or will create.
Okay, that is all I wanted. That's what I want to clarify.
Yeah. That's what happened. It's
Mason,
canon.
if you want any like horrific character traits to add to your character, talk to me because apparently that's all I do. I kill people.
Okay.
Alrighty. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
Good night.
That's a good way to end the session. Me saying I kill people.